What's up, everybody? Paul here from the Hoops Crew, and it is post-game live time. Let's get into things here where the Cats have gotten the job done against the Swans. It was first versus third leading into the round. We won by 27 points. Plenty of good things to take away from this particular matchup. Ben wants me to talk for much longer than I actually planned to here because I've got a full-blown reaction video that people will be able to check out tomorrow where I pull apart this particular game. But Ben himself was someone who was there in attendance. Maybe some of you in the live chat were as well. Keen to hear all of your thoughts over the course of the night. I guess you can see we're updating graphics. We're tweaking little bits and pieces. There's the super chat thing there in the corner. Don't hesitate to use it if you've got questions for myself. You've got questions for whoever it is that's on the show at the same, like, you know, whoever the guest is at the time. Don't hesitate to drop those super chats in there and share those thoughts. And I've got to try and spell Shadoo's name funny now, given that typo as well. Hello, Pual. All right, let's get him in. Ben, talk to me. You're at the game today.
I'm going to have to adjust. You've got me too high again, Paul.
You set up this shit.
No, it's all you. It's all you. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? There we go. We'll sort this out eventually. What a win. What a win.
Was there, what were you thinking in those first, I don't know, was it 5 to 10 minutes or so when Sydney were kind of peppering away and it seemed at least initially like, oh shit, hang on, we're not on here.
Well, I didn't think we weren't on. I thought we were. I thought Sydney. They were playing fantastic football, Sydney, and I was just surprised that we were hanging in there. I thought, oh my god, I feel like this could be a loss for us today. I mean, I've tipped Geelong coming into it, but just the way Sydney started the game, the way they were just working together and using the ball, and it was just unbelievable. It was really, really impressive. And I thought Geelong, okay, cool. We're a couple of goals down. They missed a couple of easy set shots. I thought, geez, that's lucky. They did. And then we sort of kept in touch, and I can't remember what the quarter time score was, but I think, okay, we're kind of in the game. Like, it's going to take a lot to stick with them if they maintain this for 4 quarters. It's going to take a hell of a lot.
We were down by 4. We were down by 4.
Yeah. I wasn't completely sure we were up to it at that point in time, but wow, that second quarter, man. Wow.
Yeah, there was that little flurry of within 5 minutes where we piled 3 goals on. Lawson got one, Jezza got one, Brad Close got one. Yep. And it kind of continued even beyond that. But yeah, there was a pretty significant, I guess, 5-minute window there where we really turned the knife a bit. It was great.
Oh, it was incredible. And look, what did the Swans? The Swans got a goal late. One thing that annoyed me, Paul, and I'll get it off the top early. Could we stop letting the Swans kick a goal in the last 5 seconds of a quarter? That'd be great. Or after the siren. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter.
Yeah,
unbelievable. No, can't be upset. We've had a good win, so it's all positive energy from me tonight. But that second quarter was incredible, and we kind of went on with it in the third, even though the Swans made a bit of a challenge. But I think we pretty much leveled it, didn't we? In the third quarter, might have been even Stevens.
What they kicked? They kicked 5 goals, 3, and we kicked 4 goals, 3. No, so they won the quarter by a goal. Just
because they kicked it after the siren, I think it was.
Yeah.
Isaac Heaney. We gave away a 50-metre penalty. And then
Heaney at halftime, and it was Logan McDonald at 3/4 time.
That's right. But yeah, Indigenous round, mate. Do we ever lose in Indigenous round these days? It doesn't seem to be the case.
I mean, do we ever lose? Like, it's... You've got to... Actually, I need to take a look at the Discord here. You've got a channel that you've set up that is about the lid. And I'm just curious to see whether there's been any activity.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Keep the Lid On. Sarge says my pantry is shaking. Horatio, it's high noon on my sundial.
Fuck the lid. Fuck the lid. Fuck the lid.
Seems like the lid might be off, at least amongst 4 of you within the Discord there. So
no, lid's fucking gone, mate. No, bring it back. Look, play the Swans again. Who knows what the outcome will be? I mean, they're
missing a couple players. They are missing.
Oh yeah. But Papley went down late, and I think someone else might have. These are 2 teams.
Was gone, but
yeah. But Brody Grundy, mate. Mitch Edwards.
Get out of the way. Mitch Edwards has got you.
Miss Edwards has got you. Sam DeConning's helping out. Blitzarves does his bit here and there. Best player on the ground last week, Brody Grundy, but wasn't up to it tonight. Just didn't have the heart to go with Mitch Edwards.
With
Wasn't good.
nine game Mitch Edwards.
Yeah.
Gave the All Australian fancied ruckman a bath.
Yep. I made sure I was my belligerent best on the fence, just giving it to Brody every chance. I actually like Brody. So
I do like Brody.
I do like him. It's just
there's very few intelligent ruckmen out there, but he's one of them.
He is. He rocks a man bun pretty well. But no, I was shouting out to him, mate. Come on, you got to work harder than that, mate. Come on, you're getting embarrassed by the young fella. Come on, mate. But no, I don't think he heard me. But
that's a stat. The flash has just kind of popped out there. And I'm just looking at it now, and I think we're off by 2% here. But 50, according to the AFL side, it's 54%. But whatever, it's all the same. Barely played half of the game time and gave Brody a bath.
Yep, I can't wait to see the Mullen bath photos again. Every week we get another photo of Mullen putting someone in the bath and giving him a wash down.
Yeah.
So who was it? Was it
or emptying his pockets and the other? Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I'm going to rant and carry on and lead off and all that bullshit. But Jesus, Swannies are a good team, and we had to be really, really good tonight to beat them. And I reckon that was probably our best performance since the 22 granny. I was that proud of the way that the fellas went about it tonight. I couldn't believe what we were putting out there. Just quarter after quarter after quarter. The first quarter, as I said, just hung in there. And then second quarter, poof, bang. And then even the third quarter, I'd say, look, we showed flashes of brilliance. I think we kicked 3 goals at one stretch. And then gradually the Swans started sort of chipping back, which you kind of expected that they were going to do that. And then, mate, Jez are in danger to start the fourth quarter. Both on the boundaries, opposite sides, bang, bang. And none of them got too carried away, especially
Danger just with his little point. That's all it is.
This is what I do, says Danger. This is what I do. Incredible.
We don't have I've just realized the QR thing is not in the corner. Did you kill that in the process?
No, mate, no. I'll help you out because it sound like you need lots
you
of help.
You haven't got it on the back. No, I'm looking through the thing now. You do not have it there. You've killed it in your.
No, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no,
there you go. See, that's why you need me. That's why you need me at the back end because you can't run things. There it is. Click the QR link, everyone. Can we talk about Lawson just a little bit?
Yes. BOG Lawson.
What a game and what an occasion to do it. And do you know what I love the most? The fact that the crowd really, really, really showed him the appreciation as well. And it warmed my heart a little bit here and that.
The cockles of a cold heart.
Oh my God, it is pretty cold most of the time. But no, Lawson getting all the love from the Geelong people was terrific. And he deserved it. But it's a special week or a special couple of weeks for the Indigenous players in the AFL. And it was great to see him play so well, but B, to see him get a bit of love and recognition from our fans as well, and hopefully some Sydney fans. I don't know. I mean, I don't expect much. I mean, they're losing by 5 goals or whatever, but no, he was incredible, and just everything he touched turned to gold tonight. Every kick. I don't think he made a mistake. I didn't see one.
Look, I do recall like 1 or 2 little turnovers, but they were nothing significant. Like it wasn't the. Speaking of blokes who had a pretty good game, I mean, Bailey Smith had a pretty good third quarter, but they weren't the Bailey Smith type of error where when he mucks up, he mucks up badly. They were, I just slightly missed this target. It just kind of went over their head, but in the case of Lawson tonight, but he was going at 87.9%.
Pretty good. It wasn't a Jake Collar-Jashny type of error where you're trying to take on too much with 30 seconds left, trying to do a short kick in the middle of the ground, turn it over. You could have picked out 3 Swans there, Jake, but anyway. That's I want to know,
as someone who was there in the crowd, I want to know about the reception to Sully kicking his first.
Mate.
After the catastrophic error a few weeks ago against the Eagles to atone.
So I can only tell you, obviously, I'm in A27, my bay, 3 rows from the front, but everyone around me got out of their chair and was absolutely, I wasn't jumping.
Threw their caviar in the air?
No, caviar. That's your go. No, I'm out in the elements, Paul. I'm out in the wind and the rain and all those harsh elements, but you wouldn't know about that. But
no, I don't come to Geelong. I don't have a box, do I?
No, unless the helicopter's available, and then maybe you'll come. So, but no, look, that he got lots of love for that, and it was terrific. And a few of us were asking, "Oh, is that his first? Is that his first?" And I'm like, "Yeah, 100%, it's his first goal. Get around him, and didn't he love it as well? I think I can't wait to sort of hear him talk about it. I don't know if Lawson doesn't get the 3 pound limit. Yep, it's all rigged.
Shout out to Gary. Gary, I know you've been kind of struggling to make some of the streams and bits and pieces lately. You've not been in great shape, so good to see you there, mate. And sending you all our best.
Yeah, good on you, Gary. Hope you're feeling a bit better soon, mate.
Keep chirping me in the chat. I know it's only a matter of time. I'll say something that we'll actually, Gary, give us your hottest Brad Close takes.
Yes,
Brad. Where are we at? Mate. Where are you at when it comes to Brad Close at the moment?
Look, he made an error tonight, and I was a bit hard on him. But then later on, I think maybe the next quarter, he spoiled a Swans player trying to take a mark near the boundary, and then followed because the ball was still in play, and then he followed it up and tackled him over the line. I'm like, oh, Brad, that's what we want to see, Brad. We love it. Brad is on. So we made sure we gave Brad heaps of love over the boundary line. We made sure it's sort of unrelated to the game, but the game within the game, Shannon Burns, the runner for the Cats, former two-time, two-night premiership player. Looks like he's lost a yard. But every time he was running to the bench, we kept saying the other Sydney runner was going to the bench. He's like, "Come on, Shannon, beat him! You got him coming!" You could tell him just picking it up a little bit, which was fun.
I mean, he by this point, Shagger probably knows where you sit, and he's sick of your.
He doesn't. Well, he only knows us because that one time we reached out to him when he did the Runner of the Year award thing. But no, he looks over and gives us a bit of a thumbs up once in a while. But that was fun. Anyway, completely unrelated to the game, Paul. In the crowd, I guess probably the experience has been in the crowd because everyone can see what they see on the tally and all that. But I would like to think that this was probably the loudest I've heard the Geelong crowd in quite some time. And it was a very full crowd, actually. Even the Swannies fans turned up, which is surprising because you know how they sit down the river end behind the goals. Well, the whole thing was full. Basically two or three bays of Swans fans, all red. It was good to see them. Like, oh God, geez, if they get up and about, we're going to hear about it.
I do love a big full crowd between, and obviously grand final day back in 2022 was, well, it's kind of designed that way. But when you see those two teams going head to head and it's a full house, be it at GMHBA, be it the SCG, be it the MCG, whatever the context happens to be, and you've got the blue and white hoops versus the red and white of City, it looks unreal. Like,
it does.
It really, really pops. So
second best,
let alone if there's energy to it as well, then that takes it to another gear.
I think it's the second best in terms of two uniforms. I mean, I'm biased because of Geelong, but probably Cats Hawks is probably the best one, the best clash, and then probably Cats Swans after that. Yeah. I don't know.
I like the red v blue, and I don't want to pump up Hawthorn anymore.
Dungeons and Dragons, or Double Dragon, or whatever it's called. What's that computer game called from the
Double Dragon? The fighting.
The blue guy and the red guy, and they're going in the blue corner, in the red corner. But no, the crowd was massive tonight. Got up and about. We heard got a little bit nervous when they started the Geelong. It was like way too early for that. Don't do that.
That was like 4 minutes to go. It was fine.
No, they did it way earlier than that. They did it multiple times. But
okay, I must have missed the earlier one.
They must have just turned the volume up a little bit for that because they knew it was coming. But no, they went a little bit early with that. But no, the whole chant when it was going the Geelong cha 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 that was going around the crowd a little bit. And sometimes I don't get into it because every time we bloody do it, the Swans just run down the other end and kick a goal. So I'm like, it's a bad omen sometimes. So
pretty good at shutting us up.
Stay away from it. When someone comes on, I hope they talk about the VFL. I won't talk about the VFL on my little bit tonight, but other than to say good win from the guys, especially after coughing up the first 6 goals of the game. But I won't go on about that because it's an AFL sort of show and we want to hear about the game. The blue guy, yep, red's a villain. There you go. I like that. Yep. And the white versus black, and if you follow Star Wars, it's Luke Skywalker in the black, and then Darth Vader. Luke Skywalker in the white, and Darth Vader in the black.
Blue saber, red saber too.
Yep. Tanner Bruhn was a late out, managed apparently.
I've got no problem with that. I mean, that was kind of the thing that I can't remember if I spoke about it with you in previous post-game lives, but certainly in previous post-game lives, the conversation has been all right. Like his touch hasn't been there. He's been a little bit sloppy with the ball. Maybe just needs a week off just to freshen up again. Because especially in the early part of the season, that first probably month or so, he was really carrying the boys. Give him a break. Let alone the fact that he's doing all of that, having not played for an entire 12-month block as well. So, look, how they got to that decision today, I don't know. We'll see. But I think it was a good decision at the end of the day. And not an unsurprising one at the end of the day.
Yeah, good. A lot of interesting decisions made today. We stayed with Jack Henry down back, which is interesting.
You mean in the forward line?
Sorry, the forward line.
Yeah.
Thank you. With keeping, I think I was thinking of my next point. Jez is basically playing every position on the ground except the ruck at the moment. That's interesting, and they're really doubling down on that. And he was terrific with 3. Imagine a defender kicking 3 goals. Well, he was basically down back half the game.
He did, especially in that kind of second and third quarter. He just seemed to drift down there and be the first kind of the first point in kind of launch that launch from the half back line. It was unreal.
Yep. I think we're going to need a name for this Geelong style of footy. We're definitely starting to see the signs of this DNA, what this is all about, especially the last 3 weeks where it's been absolutely beautiful footy to watch. The way we move the ball by hand up and down the wings and through the middle of the ground, it's slightly different to the way Sydney do it, but it's just this wave, it's this tsunami. And I was thinking, what can we call it? And just go with the old favourite, call it the cat attack, I reckon. We'll go with the cat attack.
Very original.
Very original, but I'm going with that. I'm going to try and get that started. If anyone's sitting near me, if you hear me say it out loud,
I've got no idea when it comes to a name, but what I'm liking most about it, obviously, one of the biggest issues we had with the game plan that we were implementing before is when it works, it looks amazing.
Yep.
But if we turned the ball over, we were cooked. And
yes.
I think the chain handball game means that we're structuring up different. We're structuring up differently defensively, and I think it means that we've got more bodies behind the ball and able to set up a little bit better. And it feels like, because the turnovers do happen. I think they're less frequent and they're less significant when you turn them over by hand. But it's just working a treat. We're so much better positioned now to actually, fight back in the event that the ball comes slingshotting the other direction. So I'm stoked with it.
It was a big weakness for the Cats, probably the last couple of years. I mean, if you can open Geelong up the other way, you've got them. But it is one of those things this year. Every now and then, I think the game plan's going to fall apart a little bit. But Chris Scott probably knows that, and he thinks, well, some days we're just not going to have it. But for the most part, I feel like it's a winning formula, what we've come up with. And there's I'm sure there's a lot more to it than basically just that, but just some of the positional things. And, it's not going to be the same next week either. Are we going to beat Carlton?
Surely.
Why do I feel like we're going to lose to Carlton? Why? Why do I feel like this after a win like that tonight? What's wrong with me, Paul? I need to get my head read.
No, but wrong. I mean, they've given us reason to question it when it comes to a game against Carlton in the last couple of years. So
yep.
Sure, they're equipped quite differently now, Carlton. They're a lot weaker than they were before. Charlie Curnow's gone over to Sydney. You did okay today. Didn't really light it up, but if he was playing for Carlton, he probably would have kicked 7 against us. So, surely we get the job done.
Flash, don't worry about highlighting it, but if you can, Flash is talking about Jack Bose in the VFL.
Bose and Walker.
I want to bring it up only because he deserves to play in this team, but who are you dropping? How are you going to drop? And especially with Tanner potentially coming back as well.
It's hard to get a real read on it with Jack because he goes back to the VFL and he gets these numbers far more often. It's because his role's different though. Like when he goes to the VFL team, he plays inside mid all game. He is their number one midfielder. But when he comes back to the seniors, all of a sudden he's backwards in that queue, and so he's off the wing, he's off half forward. So what we're looking at statistically speaking is very different. So it's kind of hard to compare, but he's in really good form though, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if we manage a few of our athletes. I know they're all athletes, don't get me wrong, but some more of our speed type runners. I think the 2 opponents that we've played last couple of weeks, Brisbane and now Sydney, I feel like probably the Carlton game, without being disrespectful to Carlton, I feel like it's probably that time.
You mean the team that you were just worried about us losing to?
Yeah, exactly, but I still feel like I'm just nervous. I get nervous about every game. I was actually okay. I was calm. I was zen going into this one, thinking, okay, if we lose, that's fine. Sydney's a good team, and we probably deserve to lose if it happens. But with Carlton, it's more just like, oh my god, the world's gonna end if we lose to them.
I'll double check. I think Carlton's up at the moment against Port. Oh, they're smacking Port.
They are. Yep.
7 straight to 2-1. 29-point lead.
They've pulled down the power pants and they're giving them a smacking on both cheeks at the moment. It's absolutely red raw. So good for them. Good for them. Look, I think 8-3, Paul. I'll let you get off and get some other guests on, but 8-3 is a pretty strong start. Honestly, I thought we were going to be 7-4, and I was going to be happy with 7-4, but 8-3. There's a tough month ahead. The tough 5 weeks ahead after the. Again, not to be too disrespectful. Maybe I'm coming off as disrespectful, but who cares? We've just had a great win. Screw Carlton. But we'll get through the Carlton game, hopefully bank that win, be 9-3, and then, gee whiz, have a look at the lineup after that. You've got Adelaide and that.
The other thing is, of the top 10 teams, the ones who, right now would be in the finals, we've played against, how many of them? We've played against all but Melbourne and St Kilda.
Okay.
So
and Melbourne get us
obviously taking ourselves out of that. That's 9 teams. We've played then against 7 of the 9, and we've only lost to Gold Coast and Hawthorn.
Okay. And don't worry about the Gold Coast
Hawthorn, what Easter Monday is what it is. Gold Coast, we can kind of throw it out. Especially I guess the teams that are the most fancied for the flag, being your Freos, your Sydneys, your Brisbanes. We got the job done.
Gold Coast won't be a pushover, but
no, absolutely not.
But have they beaten us at home?
They did also cough up a 43-point lead today, and then lose after the siren. So
wow, mate, there's so much. I mean, it's a Geelong show, but I could easily talk about some of it. Pendle's nearly lost. Oh, that would have been so sad if Pendle's had a loss. God, geez, don't tell a Collingwood supporter that they get the sooks up when you.
I feel for Jamie Elliott though.
Oh yeah,
I think that's
we should
ACL.
We should pause for a moment and just send a bit of love to one of the Collingwoods. I think it's probably fair to say he's one of their greats. He's been doing it for about 13 years, and
certainly he's one of their modern greats. He's
one of their modern greats, yeah.
But he's been cut down by ACLs once before. I think it was once before.
Once or twice even.
And I think this is the second. So, and that's awful for him. Like you don't wish that on anyone. So.
And I hate it when I look at the team sheet and I see he's lining up. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I always worry about playing against Jamie Elliott.
He's going to line up against us, and he does it every time. But look, I don't want to wish injuries on anyone really, unless it was Sam Mitchell back in the day, Hawthorn. I was more than happy for him to. Anyway, but no, it's sad for him. Hopefully, it's not an ACL, but not looking good.
Doesn't look good.
Few injuries there. But look, we roll on. We're 8-3. Hopefully, we'll do a good enough job to get the 4 points next week. Hopefully, I don't imagine we'll bring the same level that we brought this week, because that's pretty hard to reach those heights week.
I don't know. Who knows? We could bring it again next week against a lower rung team and belt them by 100 points.
I feel like they'll probably wreck our form. I think it's probably what's going to happen at the worst possible time.
Bring us back down to their level.
Yeah, and we can't afford it. We've got to stay up somehow, because we've got to, as I said, after the Carlton game, and they'll test us, because Carlton always test us. But geez, we've got to be on to get through the 4 weeks after that. Look, we're okay. We've put ourselves in a good spot where we're 5 more wins than losses at the moment, so we're doing pretty well. You've got to be happy as a Geelong supporter, right?
I think I saw in the Discord today, just I guess it's relevant because we'll be playing them in 2 weeks from now, but it looks like 2 weeks off for Isaac Rankin.
Oh wow!
I can't remember. Someone put it in. I think it was a calf. He pinged his calf last night.
Oh okay.
So that's a significant out for when we play them in a couple of weeks.
That's a shame, because he's one of the players you want to watch.
He's super exciting to watch.
He deserved his whack last year for what he did, but no, I hate to see players like that sort of miss because of injuries and so forth. So it's a bit of a shame. But you watched it on telly, obviously, tonight, Paul, from your
I did
from your cinema room. Did you have the full Butler staff set up, or no?
I did.
Very good.
Kids.
What did you see, Paul? Because let me be host for a couple of minutes before I go. What did you like from the game tonight? What caught your eye?
I mean, I think it kind of echoes what you've already discussed. It was a really clean experience, and I don't mean clean in the kind of negative sense where it's hands off, bruise free football. No, it was a really clean. No, they fought hard. They did an amazing job at the contest. I'd have to have a look at some of those clearance numbers. I think the thing that really probably caught my eye were more just the random hold-ups in play, or those contested moments, as opposed to necessarily clearances. But I feel like we were strong in that respect as well. Yeah, mate. Yeah, we did. Centre clearances 14-9, and stoppage we lost by 1. but won the clearance count overall on the day. So it just felt like every 50-50, what should be a 50-50 contest was more often than not heading Geelong's way. We were, busting up the contest, and then we were finding, good handballs to people who had space, or we chained those handballs around until we found someone with space, and then off we went. And I'm just really delighted that this forward handballing game is really starting to click. I had my reservations going into the Brisbane game. I thought, okay, that was amazing against Collingwood, but are we going to be able to replicate that against a top shelf team? And I, to the point where I tipped, I can't remember what you did, but I tipped against us against Brisbane. I just didn't feel like we were going to be able to, like, that it was just going to be so seamless in a matter of, 2 weeks of football.
Yeah.
But I saw what we did there. I thought, okay, if we can do this again against the Swans, we should roll them, and we have. And at this point, I'm really comfortable in the plans that we've got in place. And I feel like at any point too, we can kind of shift from right now, we're still, despite utilizing the handball more, we are still a more kick-based team. We haven't shifted that far that we've, kind of handball first and foremost. But it's been a bit more balanced in the last, 3 weeks.
Yep.
I like that we've got now multiple levers that we can pull. If you want to go with this forward handball game, great, do it. If you want to, go on those fast breaks with a kicking game, we can do it. If by some chance the game requires us to kind of go old school Geelong and play a bit slower, we've still got plenty who've been there and done that, and I think we've demonstrated the capacity to really hold up the game as well. So I'm happy with where our games are at, because we've got 3 of them at least, and we can kind of switch between those seemingly at the drop of a hat. The disposal efficiency's been good. That's been trending upwards now for the last month or so, where we're much cleaner with the ball. Strangely, tonight our disposal our efficiency inside 50 was well down on the usual. We didn't quite take advantage,
especially first half.
Yeah,
just missing targets all over the shop.
And we just put the ball into both Melican and what's his name, McCartan. Tom McCartan's hands. We kicked it to them a little bit. We didn't really help. I think probably one person in the forward line that struggled a little bit tonight was Shannon Neal, and I don't think necessarily through any fault of his own. I just don't think the service to him was great. Some of the kicks to him there was a few dump kicks in there.
I think we controlled the way the game was being played for the most part, but I think just sometimes the way the games are played, sometimes every game looks different when you're watching it, sometimes it suits some players more than others. Tommy Atkins I meant to give Tommy Atkins a shout out for his 1,000th career tackle, but all tackles were down tonight. We got smashed in the tackles, but would you say that's a bad thing? I mean, you looked at it on the tally, but were you looking at it going, I didn't think it was a bad thing. We had the ball more. The way we played tonight it felt deliberate to me. Like it was a deliberate strategy from the coaches to play this way to beat Sydney, and I just found it really interesting. The behind the planning that went into this one, a bit like the planning that went into the Brisbane game. The coaches have absolutely give the coaches 5 votes, because they've been 5 Bintangs or Bentangs. They've been absolutely terrific the last couple of weeks. We've won it in pre-match every week the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's been incredible.
Yeah, I've got no concerns with the tackles. The Swans were chasing arse all day. So
exactly.
The only thing I feel like we could do a little bit better at when it comes to the tackle count is, like, I think the tackle inside 50 thing, the ability to retain the ball in there is still like that has been a strength, and it's been down a little bit recently. And I don't know if that's a byproduct of now the forward handball and the way we're wanting to play. Probably try and critique and study that a little bit more over the course of the next few weeks. But I feel like that's probably the one thing that I've noticed is the tackle inside 50 count is down, regardless of what the overall tackle count says. But otherwise, no, I'm stoked with where we're at. Things are going really well.
I'll give you my 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. 3 votes, and not by as much as maybe what other. Yeah, I did see that one before. Next 100 games. My 3 votes to Lawson, but only just. I thought he was really good. But I thought Max Holmes was terrific as well tonight. Yeah. I felt like, especially in that first half, he was the one sort of in that first quarter, at least, everything he was doing. He's come so far this year. I can't believe. I mean, I've always thought he had the potential to be a Brownlow medalist maybe one day. I feel like Bailey's going to probably take votes off him, or they're going to take votes off each other. But geez, he's been good this year, Max Holmes. So I'm going to give Max the 2. And I'm actually going to give 1 to Mr. ACL himself, Mr. Grind Myers. Unbelievable what he was, the angles he was finding, the passes, the composure, just the stopping on a dime. Like, oh my, every time he stopped on a dime, I'm like, oh, here we go. Here it goes the knee. Here goes the knee.
Is it? And it doesn't happen.
And I was going to just about ready to send off a love message or whatever, but nah, he was great. 11 marks for Grind. He couldn't be stopped. And we haven't seen a Messi type game from Grind this year. Oh, maybe we have seen 1 or 2, but it haven't been as many this year. So it was good to see Grind bring an A+ effort.
I can only think of one. Yeah,
that he actually missed. One, maybe another one.
There was one today where he missed.
Yeah.
But otherwise, everything else was really clean. Goal assist. Where did you finish on goal assist wise?
GA.
Just the one. Just
Maxi Holmes got the 2.
Score involvement's probably be a bit higher, but
yeah. Lawson,
but no, he's been doing some great things, and he's been really. I think he's playing the game mindful of his knee. I feel like he's not at the contest as much. He's more on the outside, but that's fine because then that allows him to really utilize his greatest strength, which is that kick.
I felt a bit hard. I felt bad for going at him a little bit last week. There was a contest that he probably just didn't go hard enough at, and I felt that was in his head. Maybe the knee. I didn't want to go there, and I mean we're all humans. It's going to get there, but sometimes there's a lot on the line. Little shout out to Bailey Smith. Just goes and goes and goes.
18 disposals in the third quarter.
Oh, good mate. You can't.
He was actually very well held. He was pretty well held by James Jordan in the first half, and then he just exploded.
Mrs. Hoops and I have got a theory that he saves it for the fourth quarter and the third quarter because that's when that's what the ones the umpires remember. So he's chasing that Brownlow this year. He's chasing.
I mean that, and I think he just he's got the tank. Like he keeps going as others start to drop off. He just keeps going and going and going.
Yep.
I don't think. I mean, unless the umpires were really paying attention in the third in particular, then I wouldn't see votes coming his way necessarily in this one. But he did play a really good game, especially in that second half.
Yep. I actually can't think of a player that I was disappointed in tonight. I mean, some players which were good without being great, but I think probably half the side was fantastic. Lawson Humphrey's absolutely god tier tonight. But yeah, no one really let the team down. A couple of mistakes, but you get that every game, really. No one's perfect, but we kept falling over a lot. But anyway, those are my votes. I'll let you get on with a couple of other guests. I could keep talking for about another half an hour, but I'm sure other people want to hear other people talk. So
yeah, we've got Ethan sitting there in the green room, so we'll bring him in momentarily. I've just stirred him with that comment, so we'll bring Ethan in a moment, and we'll keep on rolling from there with whoever else happens to turn up. But Ben, thanks for coming on board.
No, always, mate. Enjoy the night. Hopefully, you keep going until the wee hours of the morning. What are we, half an hour in?
That's not 30 minutes. That's definitely not the plan.
It will be the plan. I'm going to make it the plan. I'm going to Catman. If you're watching Catman, I'm going to reach. I've got your phone number. I've actually got the Catman phone number. So I'm going to. I have Catman's phone number. We're on speaking terms, and he's not happy with you, Paul. So I've told him if you get on, make sure you tell Paul you're not happy with him. So I'm going to be prepared, is all I'd say, Paul. So
yeah, look, it sounds like Catman's not the only person unhappy with me at the moment. So
no. Anyway,
more on that when Nuff goes to air on Tuesday.
All right, mate. Toodaloo. I'm out of here.
Enjoy, mate. I'll see you later.
See ya.
All right. As I said, Ethan's on board next. So we'll find that layout. There it is, and bring him in. Ethan, how's things, mate?
Pretty good. 3 for 3 in this 7-week gauntlet.
Yeah, it's a good start. We've discussed this plenty over the course of the last month and a half or so that this was going to be a really difficult block, and we've come out the blocks really well. So yeah, I thought second week in a row, or actually third week, really, our game plan was excellent. Yeah. The players who needed to stand up in a speed-based game that was going to be pretty ground level heavy, I think they all did. Holmes especially, great time for probably his best game of the year. Mana was huge in the first half. He was a little quieter after, but he was important in those spans. That was really big. Yeah, I'd agree with
Mark
that. He
O'Connor.
did some good things. He didn't like break the game open like he did last week, but was really still really busy.
Mark O'Connor, how good was he? I thought he did a really good job both taking some of the role on limiting Blakey and just their runs in general.
Yep.
And was pretty smooth. His efficiency, last I had checked, was over 90%. I don't know if it finished that way, but it was at the very least hanging around there.
I'll have a quick look for you. But he finished it. He was the top cat on the night in that respect, 94.4%.
Yeah. And
from I'm trying to find a disposal count.
Was at least
They're
18.
Not on the same screen. Oh, okay. I was scrolling too far down.
It was
18. From 18. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was really good. And then Dempsey did a really good job just like cleaning up around that second quarter. Whenever we got to ground level, it seemed like Dempsey or somebody was there. That the second quarter, other than giving up the first goal and really the final few seconds, we couldn't have been much better. I think probably going to be coming back next year. Looking at the schedule, it's going to be tough to pull off this year. But keep playing like this, and the urges start pulling at me.
We'll see you back before too long.
That's a really good team. And yes, they're missing a couple of key pieces right now. I think we did a really good job capitalizing on how to limit Blakey. McInerney got off early, and then we stopped him. We had some issues with letting guys out the back on a couple of their goals, but overall didn't let them run past us a ton. I think we kind of sat back a bit defensively, which is why we didn't lay as many tackles. I think that was a sacrifice we were willing to make. It was a combination of that and just having the ball more. Because
I definitely think it's a byproduct of the game plan, Yeah.
If you get aggressive and you overplay on them, sure, you might get them holding the ball a few times, but you also might, if they get by you, that's really where they burn you. So I was totally fine with the way we attacked that. And I think we did a good job in general of making sure that their best weapons couldn't beat us, other than, I guess, McInerney. And I think because the Swans won last week, I felt pretty good about this. They were kind of due for a stinker. They kind of dropped a bunch of marks and had some kicking accuracy issues, not just for goal, but all over the ground.
Around the ground. I would say the pressure had a bit to do with that too. The way we'd structured up, and probably the narrower ground as well.
It was.
They did keep looking to go corridor, and we'd really blocked up the corridor very, very well.
I would have been a lot more worried had they not come back last week. I thought them coming back and winning that game was good for us. It was like, all right, they're going to paper over a few of the cracks, but they're not going to solve everything. And sure enough, we took care of business there.
Yeah.
Let's see, other game plan things I wrote down. It wasn't just Edwards on Grundy, and Edwards did a very good job with either the toughest or second toughest assignment he's had. You could make an argument between that, Jackson, Jerry, but he did a really good job. Grundy didn't have a single uncontested possession, so someone was on him the entire time.
Yeah, he was bodied up constantly.
And
the thing that impressed me the most is that despite, Brodie Grundy is obviously a pretty phenomenal athlete, as well as being, the big primary ruckman. But the meters gained by him was really quite low. He was pretty well contained. In fact, Mitch, despite playing half the amount of game time, and having fewer hitouts, fewer disposals, actually had greater meters gained than Brodie Grundy did. They really forced him. And as you said, there was always someone on him. It was always, a forced handball for the most part. So,
and that's significant when you look at a team that gains so much from handballs like they do. Holding Blakey under 500 was big. Bice ended up kind of filling in as their main ball mover. And I think so long as Golden's out, if teams lock in on Blakey, he's going to have to be that one. And it's like, pick your poison. I'll take my chances with Bice much more than I will with Blakey.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And look, Bice did a pretty solid job for the most part. He didn't torch.
He was one of their better players, but it's like, which one you're going to take your chances against?
Yeah, I'd rather take my chances with Bice than Blakey. So any day of the week.
Other things that I really liked, Tom Atkins had just a really quality contested game in a tougher matchup for his style. I think he's started to find his form again after a pretty rotten start to the year. And the back line as a whole, there was one really bad College-Ashney turnover late in the first quarter. And O'Sullivan was kind of shaky for the first, 5 minutes. Other than that, I thought we handled our matchups really well. Ball movement in the back was mostly good. Oh, and back to the Edwards thing. It wasn't just Edwards. It was DeConing, Blitzovs, and Neal all giving support, and the rotation there worked really nicely.
Yeah, it was a real team effort in that regard.
Shannon Neal's playing some of his absolute best football right now, and he's doing so much more than just
being the
key
forward. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even have a goal tonight and was still
2 behind.
I thought just super important for the way the game flowed. And I like the way we rotated Henry forward, and then obviously O'Sullivan got up there for a moment. And a couple times, some of the other guys that strayed further forward, that seemed to really be by design. And I think it worked well. And I know you guys were trying to come up with like a term for it. I was thinking like total football, because it's kind of positionless, kind of like those old Netherlands teams in the 70s. And it's not quite positionless, but there's a lot of versatility there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And look, I mean, Chris Scott's been making versatility his number one thing for the club for years now. Just to quickly hone in on the Edwards part of it. This comment here that Mark shared, Chris Scott speaking about it in the post match today, that he's looking forward to Edwards and Conway being the primary ruck, the Cats ruck, and playing together in the future. I don't mind that prospect, especially as as the Mark Blitzov's tenure starts to wind down. If Toby can get his body right, and obviously that's a big if. Like we've been pretty well burnt by Toby Conway over the last few years. But at the same time, if you can get a pairing of Toby and maybe Toby becomes the number one, and Edwards kind of can be the number two, being a bit more mobile, and he doesn't have the wheels quite to the same capacity that Blitz has, but I could see it working, especially with the 23rd man now on the in the game these days.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of. I was just thinking about this with a couple other clubs. Like, which games that have me thinking about it?
Well, Freo kind of has the 2 ruck thing, sometimes 3. They've gone with Jackson Cox and Sean Darcy. Yeah,
but some of the teams that are doing it, I feel like they really don't need it. Like it was North today. Like there was no point in having Dawson in there. You should probably just have someone else.
Yep,
just one of your regular guy spells area, because Dawson didn't offer enough. If they've
got to complement each other. They've got to kind of be foils for one another.
And that's where I think Mason Cox fits much better alternating with Jackson than Darcy does, because Darcy really doesn't have any use elsewhere on the ground. Yep. So it's a matter of, that's where I think Reece Stanley actually fits really well in that, because when he's gone forward, he's actually done pretty well for himself. I think he's way better at ground level than you think. He's a good contested mark. He's an okay kick. So it's a matter of, I don't know which of Edwards or Conway would be able to do that, but having that option on the table, and especially just for some of the matchups, would be nice.
Absolutely. So fingers crossed that everything comes together for Toby, because it's been a long time coming. And obviously we talk about our frustration. No one's going to be more frustrated than Toby, but
oh yeah.
You feel for the guy.
Like those first few games, he looked so good too.
Yep. Meanwhile, and who knows? Like let's cross our fingers and hope that it all works out well for him. But if it turns out it doesn't, there's another pretty handy bloke coming along nicely in the VFL as well, in the form of old Pikey. So we've gone from oh my god, where are we going to find a ruckman outside of Reece Stanley, Premiership ruckman 2022, to hang on, now we've got heaps of options.
Yeah,
young and up and coming as well as experience. And Reece has come in and done a great job on occasions this year too. So we're good to go.
That's something that I'm just really, really satisfied with. And then I thought Sydney's game plan today was a little puzzling when they started Rowbottom off as kind of the tag on Stewart. That was a little strange. They dropped that in the second half, and it definitely helped him in the middle. that was just a surprising choice when you have a bunch of like viable small forwards to kind of play that role. Now, it turns out two of the guys you could have considered using for that both ended up getting hurt.
Yes. Yeah, true.
But yeah, I thought that decision was a little strange. I didn't think they played that poorly, but they had...
No, I thought that was still pretty solid.
From the level they were playing, they had a drop off these last couple of weeks, which, you're not going to play like this all the time. And I'm sure we're all thinking in the back of our minds, like, when's ours going to be? When's ours stinker? When's our drop off? Hopefully we'll be talking about
them. We've already had them. That was the Gold Coast game.
Hopefully.
That was the Port Adelaide game.
We're not going to keep going in this form the rest of the year.
Sure.
But hopefully we're talking about how we managed to win a clunker at some point or something. Because you got to be able to overcome some of those.
Well, I mean, I think about 2022, for example. Ben talking about Catman being sick of eating all those feathers. Ben has just sent me. It's probably people might have seen the smirk on my face a moment ago. Ben sent me the video of Catman eating red and white feathers in the crowd. Too. So anyway, I'll reserve all thoughts on that in case Catman shows up in this stream tonight. But I think about 2022, for example, and I think about that Richmond game where they shouldn't have gotten remotely close to us that day, but we weren't firing on all cylinders. They played a blinder, and we just got over the line. Of course, it ended with a pretty epic Jack Henry mark and goal and all of that. But like, there's huge moments surrounding that. But it was exactly what you described, which is we're probably going to find those games where it's not all clicking, but we get ourselves over the line, and that's the sign of a premiership worthy team. Yeah. Whether they win or not is a whole other thing, but a premiership worthy team.
Couple other things. Just you had talked with Ben. I think our games against the Swans do look good, but I think Swans against North, especially when they play in Sydney, is just the best looking game.
Yeah, that is
when the Swans wear the South Melbourne stuff, it doesn't pop as much. It's still nice, but it's not that good. And then I think Swans Pies usually looks really good.
It's any where there's the kind of hard contrast.
Yeah.
And the Sydney, I feel like the Sydney ones do work better than most.
Yeah, it pops. I think it looks really good. There's already been some talk about Carlton. I paused their game late in the first quarter. I'm going to get back to that. I think it's, assuming they don't.
What are we? They're up by 35 points at halftime.
Yeah, assuming they don't blow this. First off, Port, when Horn Francis and Butters aren't playing out of their minds, they're just not that good, I think.
Yeah.
And we got
Jason Horn Francis had 17 and kicked 2. So
yeah.
But I don't see where's Zach Butters. Hang on, where's Zach Butters on this list?
And we caught them
he's had 14 and 2 behinds. So
yeah, and we caught them when Horn Francis was at his best, and Butters was one of the only ones who kind of broke the O'Sheen tag.
Yeah.
But I'd rather see Carlton coming off 2 wins than if they lose this one.
Ben has summoned Catman into existence. Catman, I can see you in the background. You've probably got a little bit of time up your sleeve before we bring you on board. So feel free to, I can't hear you at all. You're in the background at the moment, but feel free to kick back. I feel like you look like you're ready to eat or something at the moment. Presumably not any more swan feathers. But feel free to kick back for a little bit longer and we'll bring you on shortly. But chat, Catman is in the building.
Yeah, as things go, I also think just as poorly as Voss utilized a lot of their talent and matched up better with us. So probably like it can't go any worse against a new coach than it did against him.
Absolutely. Yeah, agreed.
And I think at this point with the run they've had against us, I think it's well enough documented that it won't sneak up on anyone. I don't know if we'll beat them, but they're not going to surprise us.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought so. No, I'd agree with that. It shouldn't be one of those games. It's just, I don't know. History has just got kind of nagging away in the back of my mind when it comes to that one, but it would be
hard to call a trap game though.
Yes, they should be prepared.
To go out there and beat a good team like this, like, yes, playing at home helped. If we see them again, it would probably be at the MCG or the SCG, which changes the occasion a bit. But in these last couple of weeks, we've shown that not only can we run with the best, we can control games with the best when we're on. I still think us when we're not on is pretty ugly. But
when the connection's not right, when we're missing, when the disposal efficiency's down and the synergy's off, it's an ugly sight. But
our ceiling might just be higher than it's been by a good bit. And I think today was the first time we really got. Or maybe the second time this year, we had both Holmes and Smith going. I'd say third quarter, you really saw that when Smith broke a pretty tough tagger in Jordan, because Jordan's a damn good player. He's very good at limiting guys. And
he's got a good history of kind of clamping down. So,
and I really love though that second quarter and really the first half in general. Bailey wasn't, he wasn't carrying things. It was a pretty team-based effort. I thought Max Holmes probably his best game of the year. 3-2-1. I'm going to go Holmes 3, Lawson 2. And then I think Bailey gets the 1 just ahead of Jezza with O'Connor, Dempsey, and a couple others in the running. I know DeConing was good, but I don't know if he was as good as the numbers suggest. 9 score involvements and 9 intercepts. I mean, he was good, but was I missing something? Or
no, I don't think. I think he was good. But I'd agree. I don't think he was that good. He did a good job of holding off Charlie. And it's kind of a little bit hard. Like obviously, what's his name? Joel Amati kicked 4 goals on the night. I'm not 100% sure where the distribution of those between Sully, between Sam, between others that might have been rolling.
It was O'Sullivan and Kolajashny. I don't know if Sam gave up any. I was surprised we didn't really have Sam take that on.
Yeah.
I
kind of had pregame. I had Sam DeConing kind of going to Charlie, and I had like the way it netted out was kind of the way I'd predicted. But then when he got 3 in the first quarter, and admittedly we did shut him down pretty well after that. He kicked 1 more goal for the rest of the game. But
and the goals he got, it was like one that he kind of beat O'Sullivan, one where he got behind Kolajashny, and one where he and another forward were just way out behind everyone.
Yeah.
I do think they planted some seeds, though, with their forwards. If they can get all 3 of Amarty, Carno, and McDonald humming, because that run they went on late in the third quarter, Logan McDonald had a lot to do with.
He did, yeah.
If they can do more of that, that makes them really scary, especially if they're missing some of these guys that are good at ground level. Just looking through the stats right now, O'Sullivan contested 9 one-on-ones and only lost 1 of them. I knew he was good. Right. I didn't realize it was that good, especially for a young player to do that after his first few minutes were kind of shaky. That was really cool. I was worried after the first few minutes, just looking at the speed of the game and a couple of the calls. What was the really bad one that they only turned a point into? It was it was the holding the ball that Rowbottom got paid on Humphreys, and then he put it straight into the post. That was really bad. There was clearly no prior. Also, I don't know.
Otherwise, I'd agree. Yeah.
Also, I don't know if a team would does this more than the Swans. They get away with like holding guys down after giving away a free kick to let the defense get back and knocking balls out after a mark more than anybody. And they could have conceded like 3 or 4 more 50s, but. With that, I
noticed a bit tonight. I don't study too many of their other games to be able to, I guess, speak more broadly to that. But I certainly noticed it a bit tonight. So,
but with that, with the opportunities that we didn't cash in on at times in the middle quarters, and with the 3 goals after the siren, each of the first 3 quarters, to still win by 27 against one of the top sides, that's lids off.
Very nice. I'm glad you had the prop ready.
Yep.
There's a couple there, and actually, sorry, G-Town posted it before. No one will say it, but Collar was fantastic tonight. Yeah, I thought he was. Look, obviously, whatever happened between some of our key defenders to allow Amati to get a few early goals, I don't know. I don't think I could point finger at any one individual, but
he had one inexcusably bad turnover at the end of the first quarter. But other than that, yeah, I'd say he.
I thought he was really solid.
well.
Yeah.
We didn't let Papley do much, which was, I think, kind of the matchup he was tasked with, at least in part. I keep thinking, though, maybe this would have been the sort of game that I know he's probably just tied up in a basement somewhere, but Jed Hughes, did he play with the twos today?
He did play in the twos today.
There will be a game at some point where we could call on him to defend a small forward. Maybe
put
it's
him
that
on a
Brisbane
Charlie
game fresh out of the
Cameron.
butt.
Yep. It makes all the sense in the world, but we won't do it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But shout out to a few people who've popped in. So obviously G-Town, you might have reached out earlier. I see M. Chalice is in here. We've got the crowd. JL's popped in wanting to ask about the Eagles Pies game and the ups. I haven't watched enough of it.
I heard it was bad. I only saw the last few minutes and Elliott's knee injury. So
yes,
can't speak much on that yet. But looked like West Coast stuck in there the whole way.
Yeah, they really fought, which is awesome. And
I am personally,
shout out to all those people. So you're all coming in to see Catman.
I am personally looking forward to West Coast and Essendon next week.
Yeah, where is that?
It's a Sunday night game because it's like the night before WA Day.
Oh, but so it's over there.
Yeah,
Eagles to smack them.
I'm going to try to come up with like
absolutely pulverize them.
Okay, it does look like it's an ACL for Elliott.
Oh, is that already starting to bubble up?
I was thinking maybe it would have been one of the other ligaments, just because it looked like
medial
it was
or something like that
of the knee rather than the side. But disappointing.
He was certainly grabbing a hold of the outside. So
yeah, something that I absolutely love right now is just Ollie Henry playing so well. You know, last year when I visited, I was talking a bunch with his dad, with Jack, with I believe Claudia Gonjaka is engaged to, I believe, the other brother, Tom.
There's another brother, yeah, Tom. Yep.
Yeah. Just a fantastic family, and at the time, like you could see, you know, Ollie was playing down on the twos and struggling, and to have him playing so hard and playing so well is really nice. Where like, yes, Jezza's, you know, the highest percentage kick in the forward line. He's the one who's going to hit some of the tougher shots, but I don't see a weak link in the forward line for the moment.
Yeah,
and that's really nice.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, yeah, Ollie, I think we haven't really spoken about Ollie all night, but especially in that first half, he was really important. He was busy, he was active, he was scoring. He's really playing the Ollie Henry game that I think we've all hoped he would reach. You add to that 3 tackles, and I guess the timing's perfect there with Amy kind of talking about his pressure. The defensive work was obviously one of the big weaknesses in Ollie Henry's game, and he's been nailing that part of it.
And I've loved having Jack Henry in that forward group as well. I know the stats aren't going to love him. The disposal count isn't great, and he did miss one that I'm sure he would have liked to have tonight. But just his chemistry and cohesion with the other forwards has worked really well, and kind of using him as that swingman right now has been a really good solution.
And if he's up there, you cannot take him lightly.
Yeah, we know he's a good contested mark. He's a skilled ground level player. He's a good kick. I think you can let him work on the wing some too if needed. Also, Jack Martin, I don't know how much of the Blakey assignment he got, but he did a good job when he was on him.
Good job. Yeah, he spent a lot of time on him.
And for someone who, like, opening game this year, of all the bad performances, he might have been the worst. He's been so good since then.
Ever since, yep.
Anyway,
yes, Horatio, Catman's coming on shortly.
Yeah. I think this has to feel like less, you know, last week was something of a surprise. So I don't know if you could count this as a surprise. I went in cautiously optimistic about this one. Like, if I had to guess, I would have probably put our odds of winning this a bit over 50% in the 55
yeah,
to 60.
I was confident, but not overwhelmingly so.
It seemed like the circumstances were fitting into place with, again, them coming off a down performance that they still managed to win and just showing a few cracks and everything else. But this is fun right now. Let's enjoy this and let's keep this thing rolling. No crap game next week. Challenge that we're all ready for. And don't forget, We are at Americans Footy, and I posted both on Twitter and in the Discord a few photos of Brian Harambe, who
Go on.
just a couple minutes ago was trying to clean his tail, so he was kind of chasing it like a dog. That was cool. And I think now he wants out, so I should probably get going and let him out and drop it in the background and keep an eye on. Let's see what Carlton does with the second half lead this time, I guess.
Yeah, see if they can retain it, which would be a novelty, really.
But again, this was the gauntlet from the start of the year. 3 for 3 so far. We've given ourselves a cushion. Let's keep building that cushion.
Looking forward to it. Ethan, thank you as always for coming on board. I'll let you go deal with Brian, and we'll chat presumably next week.
Yep, see you then.
Thanks a lot, mate. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Go Cats.
All right. Catman is next, but Catman's phone is still looking at the ceiling at the moment. So I'm not sure if Catman is yet aware that the opportunity is there. I've got the layout ready to go for our grand debut. Maybe Ben, since you've got that direct line to Catman, feel free to shoot a text or somehow notify Catman that the time is now. Because otherwise people are just going to be looking at my ugly mug for the next little bit. We have received a few in fact, camera's moving. The camera is moving. The phone is being picked up. I think Catman is aware. Catman, it is your time. If you're ready, I'll just get a thumbs up from you or something to, yeah, it looks like you might be ready to go, I think. Ready to go? Perfect. All right, let me set up the layout here and invite. Hang on, why is that not popping? What has Ben done? Nothing's working. It's all falling apart. Oh, that's all right. We'll just bring Catman in anyway. Catman, welcome to the Hoops Crew.
Hang on, I'll come out, mate. Hang on.
Okay, not a problem.
I can't hear you.
That's all right.
Hello, sweethearts. Nuffy of the week here.
I'm glad you've opened that way.
That's all good, mate.
Welcome aboard.
I don't take life seriously. I don't take anyone or anything seriously. So
I'm glad you took it in good jest. As soon as I started wheeling out video game references, I knew that I was hoping that people would see the humor in it.
I was very impressed with your. I actually enjoyed getting up here, and I just loved watching you. What you said was fucking funny. So anyway, I do actually love your work, believe it or not.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Sorry about the months and weeks of delay getting on. It wasn't intentional. I just gets crazy after a game. And
absolutely. No doubt about it. The fact that we're playing a Twilight game makes it a little bit easier. The chat is very excited to see you on board at the moment. So I'm seeing your name echoed plenty of times. I don't know how large all of this is presenting on the screen, but we're seeing Amy and Spartacus and plenty of others. I'm sure that will want to jump in off the back of this as well. But I have to begin because we got a $20 super chat here with a question for you. So I'm going to lead with that. The question for Catman from Shadu says, is that you in Barry's Kung Fu short, or is that Brad Close in Catman cosplay?
No. The guys who run the social media contacted me and asked could they use my image in their latest video. So it is meant to be an AI version of me. They've grabbed a few photos off the internet. And they've made her like a combat style samurai Catman. So it is meant to be me, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. That one's clarified. So what?
See you guys. Sorry, mate. See you. All the best. See you.
Miss me.
I'm doing. They're singing Boy George me.
I know you miss me.
Anyway, I've got to go back, mate. So, see ya.
Join the song. Have fun. Don't worry. This is a very
loose
format.
I'm an old boy. See you, mate. Purple Rain. I love Purple Rain. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Anyway, go on.
So, takeaway from the game today. What'd you make of the 4-quarter performance from the Cats?
Oh, well, it was seesaw until after half time. Then I went for a walk and got caught up with all the fans. It gets a bit crazy for Catman these days. And I got back to my seat 20-minute mark of the third quarter, and they banged on like fucking football. Sorry, banged on like.
I don't care. No, please. There's no. Okay, here. Again, you probably learnt this from Nuff. That like I'm happy to say what needs to be said, and guests are more than welcome to do the same as well. So just speak your mind. Go for broke.
I've got a bad potty mouth, so I just got to be careful not to be too potty. I can't believe. I can't believe Lawson. I met his auntie tonight. She down the cat shop. She goes, "I'm Lawson's auntie." I said, "Well, your nephew's doing a great bloody job tonight, darling." So, Yeah, it was great. Baslenga,
He was
he was
unreal.
great. But I can't believe that they banged on those 4 goals unanswered, I think it was, in the third quarter. I got back. I thought, I better piss off again, because then they kicked a couple as well. And then I thought, I'll leave again so they can kick some more. No, I was very impressed. I actually didn't think we were going to win, to be honest. I thought Sydney played pretty good against us at Geelong, well, anyway. And they're very competitive at Geelong, so I really wasn't. And then they got the first goal, and they nearly kicked 2. And I thought, oh, we're gone. We're cooked. And we weren't. 27 points.
No, it was a great 4-quarter performance. And look, there was that little block where they got a couple goals themselves during the that tail end of the third quarter, where it just probably like you, just a little bit of panic set in. I didn't have the ability to just walk away like you did, but I could have walked away from the TV, but not to be.
Even in the halfway through the last quarter, I said, "Can I put the feathers in my mouth yet?" And they said, "No, we'll just wait till we win." So I waited.
Yeah, Ben sent me the video not long before you jumped on board, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Well, if that doesn't get me Nuffy of the Week Part 2, mate, then nothing will.
No. I've already got Nuff this week in the can, and
you're quite handsome there, Paul. I may say, with your haircut, you're quite a handsome dude, mate.
Thank you. I'll take that too.
I do have contact lenses in, a bit blurry, but you still look good.
I can't see properly, so but you look right, I think. Yeah, enough of the week's already in the can for this week, and it's creating a few ripples behind the scenes already. So we'll see how it goes.
Right,
but obviously, yeah, you mentioned Lawson as being a real highlight. Was there anyone else? I'd love to get your thoughts on Mitch Edwards and how he's coming along. Obviously, he's one of our newest, youngest players. Went head-to-head with Brodie Grundy, got more meters gained, nearly matched him with disposals, despite the fact that he only played 54% of game time. Lots of really good things to take away there. How are you feeling like Mitch's development coming along?
Really, really good. He kept Brodie Big Ears pretty quiet, didn't he?
Yeah, Big Ears. Yes.
Oh man, he's got they're like huge, big. I've never seen ears like it. And he's got a nice looking face, but he wears his hair pulled back in a man bun. And when he has his hair out, he looks like wild Jesus. He looks really good because his ears are covered. But
just let the locks out.
No, Grundy's good. He's a great player. No, he was telling him, I couldn't believe it. What a future that kid's got.
Apparently, Chris Scott said in the post match tonight that he was looking forward to the idea of Toby and Mitch going matching up together over the course of the next few years. Obviously, there's a bit of wish casting there, and we hope that Toby his health gets there. But what do you think about that prospect in the future?
Well, I love Toby Green because that is.
Oh, sorry, no. He was talking about Toby, like Toby Conway getting his body right.
Oh, sorry,
he was talking about the dual ruck. Sorry, but that is a good point though, because the whole Toby Green conversation is a big one too.
Sorry, I thought you meant Toby Green coming to Geelong. What do I think about it? I was like,
let's get to that one next then. But he was talking about the idea of Chris Scott wasn't going to lean too heavily into Toby Green conversation, but he says nothing at the best of times.
No, I just I'm part of this. They've been chatting about me on. Is it Oz American? What is it? Oz Americans US or something? Oz Americans Aces.
Oh yeah, Oz American Aces. Yeah.
Yeah, with JC anyway. They the guy that runs it, Tommy, told me to send in a few videos to try and get Toad there and get me on the show as well. So I'm going to try and lure Toad with my charm. It'd be a game. We need someone with a bit of cunt in them. Like I love grunt. Sorry, I'll change my wording. Someone with a bit of grunt in him. Like he's just got that real friggin' white line fever, and he'll be the best asset. But I don't know whether we'll get him. It's just, I think it's a little bit of a wishful fantasy, but some team will probably pay out for him.
I was pretty anti the idea when it first popped up. I thought, no, look, I mean that's going to get in the way of and assuming everyone's in full health and the behind the scenes stuff is okay. I go, okay, I think about Tyson Stengel. I think about Brad Close. I think about Brian Myers. I think about Ollie Wiltshire and some of the others who are still coming through, let alone Ollie Henry and those who kind of play that more mid-sized sort of role. And I thought, I don't know if I necessarily want him coming on board to get in the way, but I put up a whole video about it.
You're going to throw the dynamic, do you?
Well, it wasn't even that. I just feel like it's going to interfere in like what is a pretty, in part, yes. But, some of these other blokes, like an Ollie Wiltshire, like an Ollie Henry, I feel like Ollie Henry suffered a little bit last year for the role that Danger was playing through the forward line. I feel like he kind of lost a bit of structure and couldn't work out what he was doing. And I think if Toby Green comes in, that's another spanner in the mix that kind of gets in the way and interferes a little bit. But I've kind of cooled down on those thoughts a little bit in the last week.
So
or
now,
so.
so now what do you think?
going,
Man, where do you place him? You reckon he's a great asset to the midfield forward line?
Well, I just think it's a free swing, right? Like the fact that we would get him for nothing. He would be not a delisted, an unrestricted free agent. We'd get him for nothing. What's the harm, right? And if it turns out it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But if it works, and that takes
good mates
another
with
step closer to the premiership.
He's good mates with Jezza too, isn't he? So that could help.
Yeah. So
no, I think it's a great idea.
I'm believing a little bit now. I've kind of changed my tone a little bit.
Have you? Oh, good.
On that one, I've changed my tone. So
Geelong are always good at getting the superstar top ups to keep us buoyant and keep us going, and we don't bottom out. So that's Toby Green's just part of that system that we use. You know, getting new recruits like you just talked about, Fuller Conway and all them, and all the young boys. One against Grundy. And I love the way they gel, and the older players and the new experienced players, whatever they teach each other. It's just such a beautiful chemistry that. While we don't bottom out, it's just a huge credit to our club. And I know people bag us and say shit, crap and all this rubbish, but I reckon to not bottom out and just keep being successful for decades is incredible.
Yeah,
after a
absolutely. Even though we've been doing it well for 20 years, even preceding all the premierships. So
yes,
since
like
04, really.
Well, I can even go back older when I was, in the 90s as well, when we were just getting to grand finals and getting bolder, but they're still up there, so maybe not early 2000s. Anyway, can't make any future.
We've got Spartacus in the chat here that says that he plans to sit next to you at Geelong versus Freo to see if you can't start a riot at Optus Stadium. Feel like starting a riot because you've got someone going with you.
No, mate, I can't do that. I'm on a very tight leash with the club. I can't.
Best behaviour.
Yeah, I can't get into riots, mate. I'd be turfed, I think.
Fair enough.
Anything to bring the club into disrepute, it's like. I think, because of my high profile, it does me a lot of favours with a lot of people, but it also keeps me on.
It means you got to toe the line.
I'm in the crosshairs everywhere.
That's a bit of a shame. It makes it tricky. Kind of limits probably you enjoying the game the way you want to enjoy the game.
Yeah, it does. Like I was walking through, the crowd's crazy now. It's like, not being a big wanker, but it's like, Catters. There you go. I was just saying I'm a big celebrity down. They walk past them too. I'm very, since my profile's gone right up, I used to be able to go and get a coffee at half time around the back at the halfway point. I can't now. I can't make it. It's just absolutely crazy. And tonight this guy
walked photos and comments.
Yeah,
and
98% of people at the footy are amazing, fantastic. And online, there's like probably the other way around. They're all horrible. Yeah. This guy walked past tonight in a really crowded area and he goes, I watched the kids and I lost me shit and I started screaming at him and his mates. They're all smart asses. And I started ranting. My friend said, stop. I was going to spin him round and have a go. And I thought, nah, just don't. Because if I hit anyone or abuse, I get in trouble. Everyone records me and then they send it to the club and they say, oh, look what Catman's behaving like. They don't talk about the lead up, him calling me a pedo as he walked past with a drive-by shooting fucking comment. So I just started yelling really aggressively and I said, yeah, don't call me that shit, mate. It's disgusting. I was just walking. So anyway, but that's my life, mate. I'm okay with it. I'm strong.
But it's a bit of a shame because it does, like, regardless of who you are, it kind of limits your ability to enjoy.
Yeah, but I had hundreds and hundreds of people just amazingly kind tonight, and that one shithead makes me think about it. And he shouldn't get in my head because
it's that's kind of the same with everything, right? You can have a million people say a million positive things, but the one negative thing will be the thing that gets stuck there in the back of the brain.
You're a great Catman, oh, you ugly fucking piece of shit. And then you think, oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you pumped up my looks before and a bunch of people got in there. And then Gary comes along and goes, I don't reckon Paul's anything flash. Thanks, Gary.
Gary, you got no taste, Gary. What do you look like, mate? You look like Paul. You'd be half lucky, mate. Anyway,
was there anything else from the game today that you wanted to discuss? So I know you're in the group, so I don't want to hold you up too much. Yeah, Baz. All right, let's talk Baz.
Hello. How good was he?
18 disposals in the third quarter alone.
He's a little fucking... Look, I know he's got a efficiency rate's not huge, but he still has a huge... Hey?
I'm just taking... Sorry, that was just me thinking out loud. I'm just going to take a look at the stats now and see what that number looked like.
It wasn't efficient. But overall, I think he's got... career-wise, he has like 54% efficiency rate or something, wasn't it? It was really rough.
He was going at 81.3% tonight, though.
So nice.
That's a big step up.
That's why I'm talking about him and pointing to my headband, mate, because he was a gun tonight. He was sharp. He hitting the targets. I don't understand why players. This is one of my biggest things. back in the old days, the handball was designed by Polly Farmer, who played with Dad. Designed a handball out of a pack over the crowd to run away with the ball. Now they widen the handball into a danger zone, not danger field, into a handball to their teammate surrounded by about a metre away, surrounded by 4 players, and they get caught. The whole idea of handballs has gone out the window, the idea of it. It drives me fucking nuts.
Well, I think that's where like what Sydney had kind of been leading, but what now Geelong is implementing really well as well with the forward handball kind of takes us back to that a little bit though. It is about, freeing up the contest and I think Danger in particular, there was a few great ones today where he took the bodies, like he took the tackles from 2 or 3 blokes and at the same time just shoveled the ball a mile over his head. Max Holmes did it on a couple of occasions as well, where they were just big, long raking handballs.
I love Holmes. Yeah, I know that.
Trusting his teammates to find the space.
Correct, and that's exactly what handballs should be about. And I just see too much, I see too much handballs within it. Not even a metre sometimes. They just handball their teammate. It's not a way to get the ball out, but it's really.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it late in the game when you're trying to lock the thing down because they they get tackled, no prior, they didn't have enough time, whatever. That's great. But yeah, the rest of the time, absolutely try and clear the space.
You did right, mate. Who do you back for?
Me,
Mr. Paul.
Oh, I'm a Geelong guy. I think Ben put the comment.
Yeah, Ben
earlier on. Yeah,
Reed.
Ben put the comment in there before. I didn't realize this about you, but we have something in common in that apparently we both have family members who played for the Cats.
Oh, what's your surname?
James. So Bill James played for or William James, I guess, played for the Cats back in, what would it have been now, the 50s, 60s. He only played a few games before he busted up his back, and the medical science back then wasn't what it is now. So that was basically career over.
Yes.
But
anything else we've got in common there, Paul?
What's that?
Anything else we've got in common there? You can tell me about.
I'm
I'm shit stirring, mate.
trying to work out.
Hey, how are Collingwood going at the moment? I don't even know the scores. I'm eating food.
No, they won by 10 points. They got up for Pendles, but West Coast gave them a mighty fright.
Oh, with the gold jacket, lol.
Yeah. And then Carlton, who obviously seem to have been our bogey team a little bit the last few years. They're currently up by 37 points against Port. So it's still within range for them to choke and lose. But
they rolled us last year, and then they hardly won any games after that.
So it seems more like Port. I mean, I'm not actually watching the game. I'm just seeing the scores. It feels like Port's maybe playing really badly as opposed to Carlton putting in a blinder.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. Someone in the chat who's watching, feel free to.
I can see it on the back screen now in the Pizza Land. We're at Pizza Land in Geelong at the moment. So
nice.
What's mate? I'm doing an interview, mate. I'm back in a minute. I've got to love you and leave you guys. I'm so sorry.
No. Thank you for coming on board. We'll let you to it. Your pizza's going to get cold, so thanks for coming on board,
pizza.
Mate.
It's not pizza. I actually ordered grilled fish and vegetables, but I'm so hungry I ate a double serve, so I've got 4 massive bits of grilled fish. And I shouldn't have done it, but anyway, it's going to cost me like $60 for a course. All right, guys.
Thanks a lot. And maybe we'll get you back on the show sometime soon. Feel free to call in whenever you want.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, let me know. All right, boys.
Chat soon. Have a good one.
Mwah. Meow.
See ya.
See you guys.
All right. Next up, Horacio's popped in just in time. Where's the layout for him? Let's hope that Ben's got this one working. There we are. The wine colored curtains. How are you going, Horacio?
Yeah, good. It's been a good day.
It's been a good day. What are some of the big takeaways from you about this game?
Why has it been a good day?
Well, I've sort of watched the VFL earlier, and I figured just like the way that I think a few of us had the feeling that the way that game was going would be a bit of a reflection of how it would go in the main game, and I think that pretty much happened. They looked very dangerous. Like in the early game, when they got it clear, they looked very dangerous and scored quite easily. But we kind of, had the most of the run of the play and didn't put it on the board. So probably had to struggle a little bit more than we probably to put the game away more than we should have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty. It ended up being pretty similar, I think, in the to what we saw in the main game, and Yeah, I mean, given the conversation we had after the North game, where I was like, oh,
Things
what
have
are we
changed
going
a
to
bit,
do?
haven't
And
they?
we haven't lost. So, but yeah, after last week, I was pretty confident that we knew what we'd have to do, and Collingwood certainly in the first half last week showed the way with those guys what you need to do, and I think we were able to do that pretty well today. And our running game is
It's
pairing
unreal.
along quite nicely. So, I mean, you can't really be anything but pretty excited about how it's looking at the moment, really.
Oh,
But
shout out to Thomas with the super chat. Thank you very much, mate. And we'll make sure pop in next week after the game. We'll have a chat then. But thank you very much. And the lid is off. He says, "Are you of the same mind? Is the lid off? Or are you still trying to keep it contained?"
No, the lid's off. I think
Oh, but there was the I think just a hint of hesitation there.
Well,
it's still early days.
No, I've actually think I've just in between sort of when the game's finished and now I've actually think I'm starting to come down with a bit of a cold. So, but no, I'm just no. I think it's more. I was more just thinking about sort of where other teams are at. And what they've shown so far this year compared to, what our journey's been, essentially for the first half of the season. And look, I don't think it's a case of, I think that keeping the lid on is sort of when you're looking, you're looking like pretty close to good things for it. And, you start.
And also, I think when you're a historically lower team and all of a sudden you're starting to pop, that's where maybe keep the lid on nice and tight. But I think we're pretty comfortable with what the Geelong Football Club can deliver season after season after season. And every now and then we, have a downer. But I think, we've seen enough of a sample size now to go, okay, this is a team that can potentially go all the way.
Yeah, and I think, particularly over the last 20 seasons, I think we've all, as fans, if you've been, you're old enough to remember the whole journey.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty aware of what what premiership football looks like and what a premiership team looks like, and I think what we're showing at the moment
looking like one
is like we definitely are playing a premiership brand of football. But then, I'm not writing the Swans off on that performance. No. And they've got a couple of very good players and important players to come back into their side. And
let alone a two-time reigning premier that's there as well. So
yeah, I think Freo are looking particularly dangerous for mine. They just seem to. I'd have them. Even prior to us winning this game today, like the thing I'm noticing with Freo at the moment is that they've got the one thing that all great sides have, and all pretty much every premiership side that I can think of has, is that when they're challenged, they just have that next gear that they can go to. They just have that ability to lift their game when it really matters. That's what's been lacking from their performances, over the last couple of years. And I think they've shown well and truly this year that when the whips have been cracking at the end of games, that they've been the ones that
they've stepped up.
That they can do the business. That they've got that confidence in their, in their game and their ability to be able to, to do the business. I think they're going to be, I would be very surprised if they, I'd be surprised if they don't make the grand final. I think they just, and the other thing with Deb is that they really do have, I think they've got a lot of depth in most positions on the ground. They probably lack a one-on-one defender, but they are able to kind of cover it in other ways, and their rebound is excellent. So, but without dwelling on them too much, I think they're probably, from
We'll
what
get
I've
another
seen,
crack at them.
I think from what I've seen, they're the team to beat. And I think the way that they've been playing in recent times, well, they had us on toast and we beat them. So,
and it's their only loss for the season. So,
yeah, and we hadn't hit our stride at that point. So,
not even close.
No, and I think we're, in having that 3 weeks of hindsight, like say since that North game, I've thought about it because I thought, God, I wasn't, I was ready to, there wasn't even a lid to take off. Perhaps at that point after that game, I'm thinking, are we going to win any of these games? What are we doing? But
yeah, 3 weeks of scintillating football changes our tone on everything.
But I just having a think about it and listening to sort of other people's views on what we've done and how we've played, I think the main thing that probably that I probably hadn't been taking into consideration, probably a lot of us hadn't been taking into consideration, is that we've really tried to we've tried to adapt the way that we play. We've tried to change things up this year, play a more sort of running through the hands sort of game. And I actually said to Jake a couple of days ago, he sort of mentioned something about, I think he was talking about George Stevens, surprise.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jake talking about George.
Yeah, and I sort of said, it's kind of, it was basically kick to handball ratio. It's like, well, this is kind of what you're looking for. It appears that's what you're looking for, like a 2 handballs for every kick kind of ratio. And I said, look, just watching how we've been doing it the last, and today it happened again today. It kind of reminded me a bit of how we went about it in the glory days, like moving it really quick through the hands, trying to get it out, just trying to work it through those sort of congested situations and get it to the runners outside and then just break things open.
And let them go, because no one's going to keep up with the likes of Max Holmes or Bailey Smith, or there's a few others there that can really power away from opponents too.
Yeah, so and that's the thing, and this is the other thing too, is that you're seeing, we talk about our development and stuff like that, and you're seeing guys now, they're probably, there's a bit of adjustment to, hey, this is how we need to play. If we want to win a flag this year, we can't come back with last year's model and think that it's going to work again this year. We're going to have to change things up a bit. We've got to sort of try to stay ahead of the curve, I guess you might say.
Yeah.
And, just got the Port Carlton game on in the background, and Nick Newman just gave one of the Port players one right in the chops.
Like a punch, or?
Yeah, he freaking just gave him a double hand right in the head.
Yeah, right.
He was he's probably just trying to push him, but it connected like a punch and he went down like a bag of shit. Oh, it's on. It is on.
Oh, they really throwing hands?
Yeah, no, it's on. Yeah.
I can see Lockie and Chris have popped into the green room here. They're too busy laughing at us, but really they need to be keeping an eye on the game. Apparently, there's fists flying everywhere in the Port and Carlton game.
Yeah,
Somebody's killing someone.
I just sort of turned my head to look at the score, and the next thing I just saw Georgiada's cop one right in the face.
Future cat, Miss Georgiades.
We're just
recruiting it. We're just recruiting anyone. It's all right. Don't worry about
it. Well, you can never rule it out, can you?
Amy says, get all the good players suspended. I mean, we only need about 2 or 3 suspensions from Carlton then, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just
that'll bite me on the ass next week. That's going to come back to bite me on the ass.
I just talking about all this, it's just that it is going to make me laugh if after all that they bloody beat us again next week. With everything that's been going on of late. There would be a certain irony to that. I don't think it's going to affect us in the long term, but I would kind of like
and
to.
It hasn't the last few years, but we just need to nip that one in the bud.
Yeah, I think we need to just beat them. But I think there's been, and I guess we've all sort of talked about it over the course. There's a few guys where we're clearly trying to get them to adjust to some, trying to get them to adjust to new roles and, get them to sort of modify their style, add a few strings to their bow. And I guess what we've seen in the last 3 weeks is that that's starting to come together and really bear some fruit. So,
yeah. Sorry, go on. Oh, I was just gonna say that I think like we've obviously, and I was pretty publicly kind of hesitant about are we going to be able to beat Brisbane? Are we going to be able to execute this forward handball game a second time in a row and against a much higher quality opponent? But we did. We've done it again against Sydney. At this point I can sit back comfortably and go, okay, they know what they need to do. They know how to execute that particular play if that's the style of game they want to play. We also know that they've still got their fast running and gunning by foot method that they've been using. That's got its weaknesses, of course, when it comes to, I think the defensive structure falls apart a little bit when they go down that way. But if they need to flick into that, then they can do it. And I still think that the DNA from enough of the blokes who've been there for 10 years allows them to, if they need to play that slower sort of method that didn't, get us to premiership success in 2020 and throughout the late teens, but there's enough of those guys and enough of that, I guess, system still there that if we need to pull that lever to really pull the brakes on the game, I think we can do that as well. So I think the thing that's, I guess, impressing me the most about Geelong right now is we've got so many different levers that we can pull. They seem to be really nailing this forward handball one. And as I said, I think when I was talking to Ben before, it feels like that the defensive problems that I kind of outlined with the other method that we've been using for the last 18 months don't seem to be there with this forward handball. It feels like we've got more bodies behind the ball when we're playing that way. Probably by nature of the fact that we are really just kind of, in a lot of cases, we are hammering that ball over the top of a contest. And so just naturally, there's lots of people behind the ball anyway. But it feels like we're able to flick back into a structure really quickly and reset defensively. Doesn't mean that, if you don't get through, and I think Joel Amati, in particular in the first quarter, really benefited from that. But I think we're nipping more of those in the bud than we were before, which is good.
No, look, and sort of going back to the comparison between the senior game and the main game and the VFL game, that was ultimately what happened was that, like you look at the tackle count in the game, they had twice as many tackles as us, but
they were chasing us the whole time.
It's like it's because they were chasing us. We had the ball, and we had the ball in our area most of the time. So. I think the thing that I saw sort of with the game that we're clearly playing, playing at AFL level, and then also obviously we're trying to execute a similar game plan, or in the VFL as well. You do notice that if your execution's off, you're going to pay a price. But if you can get your hands on the ball and get it right, if you can get your hands on the ball and get that movement going, then you've always got the answers. And that's what happened in both games today. We just, when we needed to find something, we were just always able to steady and get the job done. And I mean the bottom line is when you play, when I play. Their VFL side was third on the ladder. So it was 1v3 both games today. Just the roles were reversed. But, we're playing a good football side who's who has been in pretty good form. So you've got to, you don't go out there expecting to thump them. And they're gonna have their periods in the game because they're a good side. So it's whether you've got the ability to counter that when it's your, whether you can sort of, rest back the ascendancy or make the most of the opportunities that you have when you get them. And and I think in both games, our goal kicking was a bit off, but in the VFL, as it's pretty much been all year, but we're
peppering away. We're giving ourselves the opportunity. We're putting ourselves in good positions consistently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're creating. We're creating a lot of opportunities at the moment, and that's all you can ask for. And
I'd agree.
Eventually you'll make the most of them if you can keep getting them.
I'm confused as to why, and I'm just looking at the Discord while we're chatting. Shadu is posting QR codes from the MCG today for everyone to get a free Zinger burger. So if you want that, go to the Hoops Crew Discord and you can go and enjoy a free Zinger burger. Apparently, but I might keep that. Don't mind.
I might avail myself of one of those tomorrow.
How long does it last for though? I'm going to try it on my phone now. I don't have one anywhere near me. I'd have to drive 15 minutes. And they probably won't be open. They won't be open by the time I finish the show anyway. But
this is only today.
Scored a free Zinger burger. We're hitting hard topics here, but what's it say? Promotion may take 24 hours to appear in your. Okay. Offer is valid for 24 hours once the promotion is activated. I have to get a Zinger tomorrow. I'll do that.
I didn't think this day could get any better, but a free Zinger, who can complain about that?
Can't say no. And to Spartacus's point, like Catman will really love it. He'll think I'm 100% sexy with a Zinger burger in my mouth.
No, well, in between the VFL game and the main game today, I went down. Moe was playing more locally today, so I thought I'll take the kids down the park and let them have a run around the playground. I'll watch a half of footy and all that. And I just happened to look at was just following the North Gold Coast game, and it got to three quarter time.
Choke job.
It got to 3/4 time. It was 20 points to diff, and I put the message up on Discord. I said, "What odds North getting up here?" And Ethan went, $10. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to look it up. I looked it up, and Sportsbet was offering $15. $15
North to win
on North at 3/4 time to get up. And I said it in there. I'm like,
how close did you come to popping some money?
That's pretty generous for a 20-point game. So I'm like, I'm having a tenner. I'm going to have just a lazy tenner on that. I think that's extremely generous. Couldn't believe it. I was like,
it actually worked out.
I was like, I knew they were
going to pocketed some money and now a QR code for a free Zinger burger. Everyone wins tonight. Well, you do in particular.
And a quality double victories over the Swans.
Yeah.
So I guess
honing in on that game, were there any players in particular that really caught your eye for what they delivered tonight or this afternoon?
In tonight's game?
Yeah.
I thought, I thought most of the guys out there had a good or better game. Obviously Lawson was outstanding. Max was outstanding. Baz, once they moved the tag off him, got off the chain, and then when they put the tag back on him, it was too late.
18 disposals in a quarter. That's wild.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, it's like, what you did? You thought you could take the tag off me, did you? Well, silly move. I mean, what?
And where did the tag go? By the way, like who did he go and play on?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But But
Chris has just
they
dropped the
switched.
best comment of the night, and I can't wait for the next 30 minutes of this stream to go ahead now because we'll be talking about this comment. I'm going to put a little star next to it just in case I can bring that one back and Carlton drops a 30. Oh, here we go. They've already, I was going to say 31 points. It's already down to 25 now. So Carlton could blow this yet. And I've got that comment starred. I'm looking forward to bringing that one back. It'll be a good laugh.
Surely they couldn't blow it again.
Maybe new coach, new Carlton. I mean, Porter offering nothing, so
Port at home though really had to lift. They were playing pretty ordinary footy, but
and you obviously the other half of the conversation today is the VFL side, and Jake has actually just popped in at perfect timing here, highlighting some numbers from the VFL today. So Jack Bowes with 37, George Stevens 31, Warple 29, Nevitt 28, Wiltshire kicking 2 goals a game. Burke's developing at a pace. Mellor and Hoffman getting games. Like there's so many things. Some of those things essential to today, but also extending well beyond just today's VFL game. That shows that we're in a really good spot. Obviously, we'll see what happens come this Tuesday. Jake, I believe you're pottering away on a video around the mid-season draft and some of our VFL candidates who could get picked up there. I don't know. Maybe we need to keep the secret safe because we're continuing to flog teams in consistently win in the VFL at the moment. I don't know if I want to lose any of these VFL blokes. Especially, it seems like we're not going to open up a spot either. We could have done it with Harley Barker with his knee, but it seems like we're not going to open up his spot. So it looks like we won't be able to grab anyone in the mid-season draft. But there's a few blokes that have been performing pretty well there that might be up for grabs. Sorry. And Jake's reconfirmed there's going to be a mid-season video. So stay tuned for that one, everyone, presumably Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, I would have thought that unless, unless there was someone that, we were super keen to get on the list in the long term that, we didn't think we could get sort of at the end of the year, that we might think about doing it, but I don't know what the mechanics are behind that. And I mean, look, we've got until Monday to make those. We've got until Monday to make those decisions, so it could yet happen. But
we could keep the secret real safe, and then quickly pop Harley Barker on the long-term injury list, and then quickly wheel in someone off the back of that. You're right. So, Marcus Herbert suddenly rolls in off the back of 34 on the weekend and gets picked up at the Cats.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had another, and I mean,
and that was actually a typo. That was actually a typo from Jake before. It was 39 disposals to Warple as well.
Well, Jack Bowes had 39 and Warple had 38.
Yeah.
So just
Herbert
a lazy
34, Never 28.
Hoffman,
yeah. He didn't even mention Hunter Holmes got 26 in there as well. Like. The young blokes are really thriving. Like the ones that are already on our list, the young blokes are really thriving. But then the VFL guys, and that includes obviously former Cats like a Nathan Kruger, for example. These guys just continue to do a really great job.
Yeah,
Joe Pike, 11 disposals, 17 hit-outs, kicked a goal as well. Continues on his merry way. Like I don't know where we. Oh, Jake was just going.
And even like we've got another Stevens, the not George Stevens.
Yeah, Zach Stevens that we brought in,
who had a very handy outing today too. I like the look of him, so I'm not sure what his backstory is, but he kicked a couple of nice goals today and did some nice things. So,
I feel like our whole comment about the lid before. Let's scrap just the idea of winning the AFL premiership this year. Let's talk about the double, VFL AFL. It's on.
Well,
Am I getting too carried away now?
Well. I don't know. I mean, we are. I mean, this this is the thing. I mean, I've watched every VFL game this year, and I feel like every bloke we're bringing in from local leagues or wherever, all of them are showing they got a bit of talent.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a single player that's like don't know what this bloke's doing out here. What they think this bloke, don't know what they see in this bloke. Like, like everybody we've had. coming through has, you know, like I'm not saying they're already made league footballers by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, we're certainly like they've all shown, hey, they could be good or better VFL footballers.
No, but you want to, like, when it comes to any VFL team, you want to make sure that you've got, especially if they've got an AFL affiliate, you want to make sure that you've got a nice depth of talent in the VFL, because those old blokes are going to be there, or those VFL blokes, I should say, are going to, and the older, more experienced heads are going to be there to support the young blokes, the fresh draftees. They're the first people they're going to be playing alongside, and you want them to make sure that they're showing the newer blokes the right way to play, the best ways to do it, implement the game plan that they want going at the AFL level, and get everyone on board with it. So,
but yeah, like I say, it's just even our ability, the non-listed guys that we're sort of rotating through, you know, have all looked, you know, have all looked good or better at the level. So, so yeah, there's plenty to like about where we're sitting at the moment as a football club.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, it's just what can I say? You know, it's just, if you'd said to me 20 years ago, the start of 2007, like, you know, there's actually, I've got a post up, I think, on Big Footy, where I actually, at the start of 2007, where look, I said, if we bloody get it right up here, we can win this thing. And, you know, and I sort of went through all the players and everything like that, but not like the way that it went down was beyond my wildest dreams. And we won the VFL flag that year too.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was the thing. If you told me even you know, at the start of that season, what
we'd achieve,
that my club would become the best club in the comp over the period. Oh yeah, I would have said, hey, I wouldn't go that far, mate. You know, let's just first things first. But, you know, it's just, it is. I am proud of what the club has become and what they've been able to do, and that they continue to just, you know, they continue to set the bar for how you run a footy club and build, you know, build a side and develop talent and all these kinds of things. And I mean, like, you know, you look at a fellow like Lawson tonight, absolutely dominant performance, and
we
got him from nowhere. He was playing, you know, I think he was playing
local league,
like waffle seconds in North Pilbara League or something like that. You know, like we've got him out of nowhere, but we've identified something in him that's like, we see what this fella can be as a league footballer, and we're gonna do everything we can to get him to be that footballer. You could see, like, in the last quarter in that State of Origin game earlier this year. Yeah, I remember talking about it, and I'm just like, you know, this boy, this is in this company. He's taken over the game here. Like, he's almost single-handedly bringing them,
carrying him back into it.
He's bringing them back into this with his ability to just read the play, run, create, you know, he kicks with either foot, and he's got an over distance as well. And he's just getting that confidence in his game to be that real, you know, not like, you know, he's from his first game, he's been solid, reliable, all those, but now
poised, and
he's
we all latched onto the, you know, he's got a left and he's got a right, but he's adding so much more to his game than just being a good kick as well.
No, now he's becoming a dead set weapon. Like, he's like, tonight he was just, I'm just going to do whatever I like tonight and nobody's stopping me. So, you know, and since I sort of said, look, you know, he's got a little bit of work to do with his sort of defense, you know, with the defensive side of his game. But even in the last month, I've seen that to go up a level as he's sort of growing in confidence with his continuing growing confidence with his attacking game. And yeah, you know, it's just, it is awesome to see, young blokes just really start to emerge. And Connor O'Sullivan's doing the same.
Same deal.
Just the confidence that he's getting in his ability at this level, and then really, again from day one, he's always shown he's got a great pair of hands, reliable, all that kind of thing. But now he's getting that confidence to just take that next step and do a little more. And, and then you think, geez, you worry about the guy, oh, well, this guy can't play forever and that guy can't play forever. But then, you see these young blokes just waiting there, ready to take the mantle from those guys. And what can you say?
It's in good hands.
Yeah, and I mean, even Closey's come back into something looking, something
He's
close.
looking pretty sharp again. Yeah.
He's starting to look, something close to his best.
We were writing him off only half a dozen weeks ago.
Well,
not writing him off, but, wanting to toss him out of the 23 for sure.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And I mean, look, Ollie Wiltshire had a great game in the twos today. So, we've got...
Spartacus called him Wash just last week. Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is the thing. I gave Warple votes and then they left him out last week, and he can't get back in. And he, except for a couple of glaring clangers in the third quarter, I mean, he was outstanding today. Like he was a bull at a gate all day. For the most part, used it really well. And the thing that I noticed that, his attack on the football, a bit like what Max Rook used to be like. He would hit those packs hard and set the tone. Now we've already got Tom Atkins who does that sort of thing in the seniors, and I've said that in the past that Tommy's got a bit of Max about him in the way he does things, but it was just, you could see it with Warble today. Like he, particularly in that last quarter, he was just like, "We're winning this game, and as far as I'm concerned, we're winning this game, and I'm going to hit every pack like a steam train and get that ball if I can get it." And guys, you can see the guys just lift and say, "Yeah, we'll come along with you." So, and these guys, and I mean, like that's the thing. He finished on 39, right? But Jack Bowes had 26 possessions at half time. They had to tag him. They had to tag him. But the thing was, I think they were putting time into other players because, a few of the younger guys like Warple and Bowes got a fair bit of it in the first half, but a few of our guys, particularly in the first quarter, were pretty quiet. And I think, as they started, like, as sort of those senior guys was just getting too much of it, so they had to kind of take a bit of put a bit more attention on them, which then opened things up for the other guys, and they all stepped up to the plate like Herbert,
it's working really well. And it shows that, there's so many of these blokes that are just ready to jump back into or get their opportunity and take it with the ones whenever that opportunity arises. I've kept Shadoo's comment here on the screen. She says, sorry, but who gave permission for Jack Henry to be a breakout key forward? What are you making about that little move the last few weeks? The human foreskin suddenly becoming a gun forward. I need to wheel out that old nickname from time to time. Apparently, we learnt during the Paul James show the other night that his nickname is Liz, but we'll stick with foreskin. It's an old gold one.
I do just have to ask, where does that
Lockie come? I got Lockie shot real close to the screen when he just heard that word. I think there was a whole lot of what the fuck energy.
I just want to know where that came from. I actually don't know.
So he had a stretch of, it would have been 2024 4, I think it was. He'd had a stretch of pretty rotten games in a row. He was being shoved out of the way in contests. In retrospect, I think he was carrying a bit of an injury, but I'd well and truly cracked the shits at him at this point. And I think it was during a post-game live when in the Ben era when Ben was hosting it, doing a far worse job than I am. I cracked the shits and I called him foreskin because when things get hard, he disappears. And I can see the guys in the background losing it. Like that was the whole rationale behind the nickname. So
I've never heard that one before. That is a new one. And I like to think I've heard them all, but that's a perler. That is.
It gets me every time, and I'm pretty happy with my performance there. But yeah, apparently they call him Liz though. I don't quite know the background behind that, but I mean, if Catman's getting on the stream as he did earlier and talking about how I nuffed him last year, and then I'm sure Jack Henry's heard the foreskin nickname, and I'm sure he loves me for it.
Yeah, well, so someone else won't know where the Liz comes from. I couldn't help you on that one. But like, no, I'm surprised.
I'm happy with the move.
I'm surprised, to be honest, that he hasn't actually done a little bit more switch hitting over the last few years, because he came into the side playing forward. So
yeah.
It's no surprise to me that that he's gone down there and has played well the last couple of weeks. And last week as a more defensive forward, and this week, sort of played.
It's another genuine option.
Played as more as a genuine forward who could, do the defensive things. But I'm actually surprised we haven't gone down that road more often over the years. So, but I think. I think it's the good thing about it is that, we were sort of a bit worried about his form there for a couple of weeks, and, then he had a bit of a niggle there and all that. And we've got guys queuing up in that defense at the moment. So it's like, hey, let's give him a go. Let's play him in this role and see what happens. And, it looks like we've opened up.
Yeah, no, things looking real good.
We've found another option, another legitimate option of, it's not, I don't know that it's necessarily something that we're going to be doing every week.
Horses for courses, though.
But yeah, it's certainly when it's another, it's another string to your bow. And you would have been pleased to see that the coach have absolutely listened to your suggestion that Danger just needs to be the impact guy.
I've been telling everyone for years. That he needs to be in there and play that Joel Selwood role off the bench, and that is exactly what's happening. I'm loving it. Yeah,
and it's perfect for him too, because every time he comes on, he's doing something.
Yeah,
and he's not, and that's the thing is I feel like the longer, if you keep giving him those short, sharp bursts that, particularly, when you're mixing it up between the forward line and the midfield, it's just giving him, I think, look, he's one of those guys, he just wants to get into the contest. He wants to get his hands on the footy and everything. And the longer you leave him out there, the more likely he is to start hurting our blokes, which we saw last year. So let him kind of, just, hey, you just go out there and get yourself into the game, right? We're not, we don't necessarily need you to play. Like, your role is not, you've got to be this forward or, get this. It's like, you just go out there and you do what you want for 5 minutes or, 7 minutes or whatever, however long we're giving him. You just go out there and do whatever you want to do. Just, just impose yourself on the game.
No, you're right. Like, you're the captain. Go out there, identify what the game requires right now. Oh, I've lost Horatio. We might try and get Horatio back in shortly then. I can see Lockie and the team in the background there. I saw him bringing up myself and Catman a moment ago. Let's bring him on board. Oh no, I lost him.
It's done this again.
Okay. No.
Wait, I need to leave again. It's done this again. I don't know why it does it. Hold on, I'll join back.
All right, I'll see you in a sec. We'll give him a moment to jump in and we'll go from there. Horatio, I might bring you back in for a second. We'll quickly finish up that comment and then we'll get your votes before I bring the team back in. But yeah, I think that read the game, be the captain, lead, and go from there. I think that works. I think that works a treat. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was. It's always good. It's always good when you're like, hey, I think this is what we need to do. And then they actually and it's not necessarily because they've heard anything that you've said, but it's like, then they actually say, well, we're going to do that. And it works.
I'm going to claim it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll pay that because you've been strong on that for quite some time. So,
yeah.
I'll my votes for today.
Yeah.
Three. I'm going to give 3 to Max because I thought he just absolutely blitzed the lines all day.
That's fair.
He was a very, very damaging player. And Law's a close second on that with the 2 votes. I thought his influence in the first half was huge. Second half, maybe, didn't quite have as much influence. It's probably the only reason I didn't give him the 3. But everything he did tonight was just damaging. It was classy. And he's really finding ways to have not just be a solid, reliable player, but to be a really influential, a weapon. And I'm going to give. There's a lot of blokes I could have given 1 vote to. But I will give my 1 vote to Baz because, yes, after a quiet start, when the whips were cracking, he found a way to get himself into the game and, make sure that we got the job done.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Plenty of guns on the day, so don't blame me for picking any of those 3.
I could give a lot of honourable mentions. Yeah, the other one that I particularly liked today that probably didn't mention was Ollie had another really, really good game.
Which one? Dempsey or Henry? Both actually.
Well, actually, they both did. To be fair, no, Ollie Henry. I've been pretty critical of him on this show earlier in the year, but he's. I think he's really got his confidence back as a footballer. He's doing what's being asked of him. And if he could just learn to time that when he goes for those speckies every quarter, if he could just learn to jump just that little bit later instead of flying 5 seconds too early every time, we could have another Warwick Kappa type going.
Without being the total knob, but yeah.
Well, you hope not.
Maybe we'll see.
Just couldn't like where we're at any more than I do right at the moment, and let's just hope that we can do the job on Carlton next week, and then whatever.
You mean the informed Carlton that's leading by 42 points right now, with minutes to go? Good Lord, they've peaked just in time for a game against us. Fucking hell. Anyway.
No, they have. To be fair, Port have been pretty average for most of the night, but Carlton have played a much better brand of footy. No question about it. And look, the thing for me with them, just it's like, and you wonder if Essendon's not the same situation. It's just when you get into that situation at your footy club with the on-field product where they're blowing games that they had in their control week after week. It's not just it occasionally happens. Like this is happening every week. It's like that that signifies a far deeper issue.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely. And for those
in the
two clubs,
playing
for
group
Carlton
than
and Essendon,
just-
it's been a thing for 20 years.
Like, and that's the thing is you've got to release that pressure valve. Not just keep the the fans are foaming at the supporters are foaming at the mouth and all that kind of thing. So and the sponsors are getting antsy and all that kind of. No, it's just with the players. It doesn't even matter if they like the coach. It's just something's not working there, and you've got to get somebody else in there to try and press some different buttons. It's just as simple as that. Because
Circuit break.
particularly with Carlton, they have shown at times this year that they're capable of playing some decent footy, right? But so I think just freshening them up a bit with a new coach, just saying, hey, look, it's a fresh start. Let's just get out there and get back to some basics and enjoy our footy, and build on what we've shown we can do it. At times, let's just get a 4-quarter. Let's just think about getting a 4-quarter effort in, and they've done that the last couple of weeks.
Look, if they can not do that next week, that'd be
next
great.
week.
Yeah. Let's hope they fall off a cliff again next week, or get exposed by genuine class next week against the Cats. But Horatio, thank you very much for coming on board, mate. It's been a pleasure as always.
No worries. Good to talk.
Chat to you nice and soon. And
no
we'll
worries.
go take 2 with Lockie in the team.
Yep, no worries. Bye.
Chat to you soon, mate. Have a good one. All right, let's see if the audio is working this time.
Oh,
Take 2.
Yes, it's working now.
There we go. We're working. Sweet.
It's lucky.
How's things, guys?
It's good. Very good win. Cats just keep rolling. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I came on here for my debut against Port, and I thought we were cooked. Remember, I was saying no, we're gone. We're no good.
No, mate. You know well enough. You can say whatever you want.
I thought we were fucked after Port, and then we've just kept on keeping on. Good, massive win against the Lions. Huge win today. Could have won by a lot more, but no, we're doing good. And AFL Go HQ debut on the channel, so
I haven't been on it before.
Everyone get around him.
Yeah, shout out. I've seen others. I've seen others in the background as well that seem to have gone missing now that we're actually on camera. But
there's
We got banned. Told us to go away. Yeah, told us to leave.
Anyway, sure the real footballing experts are off camera right now, I think. But anyway,
Absolutely correct.
They're Carlton fans. They know good.
Oh, hang on, no, they don't know shit then.
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah. Where's the next picture along? Hello.
Okay.
Okay, I can see the logo there.
That's Cattles.
It's a Carlton logo.
No, it was a good win. It was a big win.
What were some of your big takeaways from the game?
Lawson Humphreys.
I was about to say,
superstar.
That's 20 touches in the third quarter. And a goal.
Bailey in the third. Connor O'Sullivan goal. I erupted in more ways than one. Oh, that was just special. He's been wanting a goal for so long.
The Gallagher game did the same thing but missed. Somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about it in the post game today. He was, I kind of had an inside out spiral come off my foot, but this one just happened to go through. So
it was the craziest goal I've ever seen. It was like full on inside out torpedo for your first goal.
Because it's
it's crazy. But happy for him. AFL Go HQ debut, says the moderator in the chat.
I don't know who that. I can't say the name. Benny.
That's Ben Reeves.
Ben Reeves.
That's Ben Reeves. So
the other guy.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
The one that was before.
He was at the very beginning of the stream.
I can't believe you got how'd
you get Catman on?
How'd you get Catman on?
Ben apparently has his number. So Ben flicked the message over and then I don't know how.
He's so busy after games. That's actually crazy. You got it.
I did see you guys holding up the phone before and showing me that you're watching it. And I
watching it back.
Look at it.
When you said Catman was on, I'm like, what?
I saw the activity behind the scenes. I'm like, oh shit, hang on, they're looking it up. But did you hear the very first part of the conversation? It was like, oh yeah, it's Nuffy of the year here.
Nuffy of the year. Yeah, we've seen that.
And as soon as that comment came up, I'm like, oh fuck, how's this going to go? Am I about to get absolutely destroyed for ripping into him last year or not? But perfect sense of humor. It was good fun.
That's good.
Catman can come back.
The chat would have loved it.
It was a little bit different story.
The chat was popping off. Super chats were running in. It was great. Good times for everyone.
Super chats.
Yes.
So,
guys, send some more super chats if you like the Cats win tonight. Drop a super chat.
You know how to monetize. But yeah, I mean, look, the Sully one. So you were there. The crowd just lit up.
Yeah, lit up.
I was there for
It was louder than any other goal. We're up by 20 at the time. It was just the loudest
Yeah,
part
it was
of the
good.
game.
It was the loudest part of the game, definitely. And then it was just pretty special.
Talk about one of the conversations that's come up a few times tonight has been Mitch Edwards going head to head with Brody Grundy and how he basically
Took him to the cleaners.
Yeah. Mitch Edwards
Gave him a bath. Oh, gee whiz.
Sam McConey, the ruck, looked good as well at stages.
He did do some good things, yeah.
Yeah, look at good stages.
Did Grundy even play? Because
No, he went missing in the middle part of the game. Like, he didn't show up at the end of the game.
Well, yeah, he was off.
He played 83%, got 31 hit-outs in that time and 15 disposals. Meanwhile, Mitch Edwards played 54%, so barely over half.
Really?
12 disposals and 22 hit-outs. So the time that he was on, he absolutely destroyed him.
Monstered him.
Did he take his first contested mark today? Because I generally don't think I've seen him take a contested mark until today. I don't think because
I remember one from, and maybe they didn't count it as a contested mark, but it was a few weeks back. I can't remember who it was, where he backed up straight, like he backed up into the contest and clunked it.
He can't take marks though. I've seen him fumble so much this year. Like the games he's played.
He did drop a sitter on the wing today.
Yeah, but yeah, true, he did.
Get around him, mate. He's just monster Grundy. You're talking about his negatives.
Yeah. Oh, but he can't take a fucking contested mark to save himself. Let me have a look and see if I assume. I'm trying to skim through all the stats here on the AFL website. There's so many options to tick. I'm trying to find contested marks. I'm sure it's probably there somewhere.
Yeah,
he's probably taken
contested marks. There we go.
Fair,
did he take one?
I think I saw that.
He had to have taken one tonight. He took a big one.
He did take one.
That's good mark.
I mean, the most on the ground was Tom McCartan with 3. So Tom McCartan and Charlie Curnow, with 3.
Charlie Curnow. Surprising. I didn't really notice him much other than the goal.
No, he didn't do a lot. He had to go. He had to move up the ground a fair bit just to get hands on it.
I like Cameron. I don't know about you. I like Cameron playing the back line a lot. Transition.
Centre half. Jeremy Cameron.
Like he kicked 3 and had close to 20.
He had like a handball chain going. They had like 3 or 4 touches in the 1 bit of play. Like what?
Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, he kicked 3, 21 disposals, 10 marks. It's a pretty complete game when you're playing that role.
They weren't the basic like set shot goals. Some of them were on the run. Like he kicked a few on the run. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, that very first one where who handballed it off to him? Was it
Dangerfield?
Maybe.
Oh, Henry did.
That's right. Yeah. Good call. Yeah, it was Jack Henry straight up, and he just cruised past and boom, first goal on the board for the game.
Yeah.
They weren't just straight set shots, but then like his field kicking. Like I've been noticing the commentary teams have really been jumping on his snapshots recently, and how he's the best in the game and all that, and he probably is. But his around the ground kicking too is unreal.
Crazy good.
That's what Scott's realised. He realised he's around the ground kicking's good. So that's why he's pushed him and given the license to play anywhere.
Yeah, and now it seems like he's really worked it out. At what point do I need to go back and help the defense, and when can I just turn the screws and go hurtling up the other end to kick a goal?
Yeah, no, it's solid and still up there in the common. What, second at the moment or something?
Yeah, I think second.
Yeah, he'd have to be close after today. Ben's just dropped in here. These are all the names. He's got a follow-up comment. Every single one of the blokes on this screen here didn't play in that 2022 grand final.
That's kind of
ridiculous.
How much we've rolled that list over in 4 years.
If you had it was Holmes in that list.
Yeah, Holmes.
Actually, he hasn't put Max Holmes on there, but yeah.
And
Max Holmes would have played if he didn't get injured, so it's a bit different, I guess.
Yeah, but he didn't. So, so I want an excuse to tell Ben he's wrong. So,
do you reckon Ollie Henry keeps his spot though?
Yes, Ollie Henry was flying at everything.
He was good. He's been good the last couple of weeks, but like,
long term, yeah.
Long term, is he going to keep his spot?
It gets tricky, I think, when and it seems like the noise is starting to build that Tyson Stengel's back in town and starting to work towards, and obviously he still needs to get approval from the AFL, but it seems like he's getting pretty close, and that does create a problem between him coming back, between Ollie Wiltshire, who's continuing to play well, but Ollie Henry's been amazing, and I think he's taken all the feedback that had come his way. Like clearly his big weakness was that he didn't have much of a defensive game in the past. It was all or nothing, but now like he laid 3 tackles today. He continues to put on that defensive pressure. He flies for a few that he maybe shouldn't
Everything.
from time to time.
Flew
but,
for everything.
He faded at the start of last season. Like he was good in 2024, and then started last season. He played 2 games and then faded out. Didn't get a game all year. Like,
I mean, 2024 he nearly took us to a 2024. He nearly took us to a grand final. So,
bro,
he's proven to play in the big games as well. Like Easter Monday, he's proven to play.
All versus Collingwood, he always turns up.
He always turns up in the big games, which is important. Very important.
No, he's a big game guy for sure.
Confidence player, probably.
Yeah.
I'd like to think he stays in, but I honestly I'd struggle to work out who would come out. Like I'm just quickly bringing up our 23 now, and I go, okay, if hypothetically it was Tyson that comes back in, I go, I can't work out who it would be, like who the obvious out would be.
It's hard that Wiltshire obvious out as well. Like Wiltshire, what did he kick 4 today and have like 25 or something, 20 or something like that?
How who was that? I missed that because I clicked away.
Wiltshire.
Oh, he kicked 3 goals, 2 and 25 disposals.
That's ridiculous.
As a small forward, 3 clearances on top of that.
That's the same with Jack Bowes and Warple. Like they had 48, like pretty much 40 each, and then probably not going to get in the squad next week. Because like, who do you drop?
Not to mention, Tanner Bruhn being a late out this week, and he probably needed that break. He carried us through that first month when we were struggling a bit. But then he's been a bit fumbly. He hasn't been kind of on his game. Like he's still been accumulating. He's been doing a great job, but the cleanliness had kind of dropped off in the last month or so. He needed a break. He got it, but presumably he comes back. Does that mean College just comes back out again? I don't know.
Oh, well, I love College as the inside on his defensive accent. I don't know. I love College as the. It's hard to.
Bruhn against Brisbane last week, he turned it over a lot. Like his kicks weren't like sufficient. Like he just kick it inside 50 and just hope for a mark. Like he wouldn't really like find an option. Like Bailey Smith's improved that this year with his turnover rate, his disposal efficiency. But Bruhn probably, you're probably right with the break. He probably needed it. Like it's coming up soon.
Yeah, and actually, Jackie here in the chat agreeing with you. Yeah, Colin needs to stay in. My only concern, I guess, around that one is, thinking about Carlton next week. Obviously, they've got Harry Mackay, but then who else they go? Like, who are their go-tos when it comes to key forwards?
Mitch McGovern.
The next.
Mitch McGovern.
He's still playing.
Mitch McGovern will. He's
still playing. He kicked 2-1 tonight as well. Yeah, maybe there is a place. I was just trying to do like a numbers game. Like, okay, so SDK would go to this, and Sully would go here. Who would be the third? But you're right with McGovern. That's probably your third there.
Sullivan will go to McGovern, I think, and the Koning will probably go to Mackay.
Harry, yeah.
And then what's the other?
Brody Kemp.
Brody Kemp will probably go to College Asney, and that's if Jack Henry still plays the full forward decoy role.
Yeah. So it does make it hard for Collar because if they don't want to play the full forward role for Jack Henry, then there's only one other spot he can be in. So. Or he gets dropped, Look, it's a good position to be in. Like as a club, for the individuals who are right on the fringe, it probably sucks. But as a club, unreal spot to be in.
Like our VFL's team at the moment, like a lot of them are like an AFL listed players that would probably get games at other clubs. But our team is that good at the moment, like they can't get a game.
Yeah, I might even just bring up like
George
obviously, Jack Bowes, yes. And I'll only focus on the AFL listed players. But, hang on, so let me filter that. So yeah, like Mitch Nevitt. Mitch Nevitt's probably one of the ones that he got 28 today. I haven't checked his disposal efficiency on it, but that's probably been his biggest weakness this year. He was shooting at 60. He was one of our worst disposal efficiency wise tonight. But you'd still imagine like if we cut him at the end of the year, hypothetically, like I feel like he'd still find a spot on the list.
That's that with George Stevens. Like George Stevens is so lucky enough to get games for us. Like I think he pulled third in the VFL like Brownlow, whatever you call it, and like it's an All Australian, like the best game of the year, and he can't string games at the club.
I think he's leading the VFL coaches votes at the moment too. So
that's another one.
But yeah, like Mitch Nevitt 28, Jack Bowes with 39. Like obviously he'd be a walk up for any club. George Stevens, we just discussed. I think you're right. Jacob Mollier is still early in his career. I don't think we need to put any pressure on him yet. But Ollie Wiltshire would be getting games at most clubs at the moment in the form he's in. Hunter Holmes' first year, but also had 26 today.
Averaging around 20 touches a game, like 25.
Yeah, something like that. In a debut season, it's pretty solid effort.
Solid.
So, Lenny Hoffman is one that I kind of really hadn't followed him at all last year, but he's popped this year.
I followed him a lot last year. because I knew him from schoolmates. Like,
Oh, right,
he was a year above me in school, and I kind of knew like how he played. Like he was really exciting as a backman. Like I was excited when we picked him up.
He's
A very exciting
absolutely
player.
crushing it. Like he's
Yeah.
been unreal. Jed Buse, obviously, he'd probably get a game at most other clubs.
Oh, I love Jed Buse. I wish he was at the side.
It's
Yes,
shitting me
so
that we
Jed.
don't play him, but justice for Jed.
I love him.
He hasn't shown games since 2022. I don't think he's had a full season.
Like a full season, yeah.
Like a full season. Like 2023 got a few games, I think.
He was there for the prelim in 2024. We brought
Yeah,
him
he was.
on Charlie, and he shut Charlie down. Like he did what we expected Jed to do. He's just not getting the opportunities. Did he play one or two last year? I feel like he.
I think he would have played one maybe,
Maybe
but that
middle
probably
of the
because some
year,
people.
late. Yeah, we would have been resting.
Like
Nick Driscoll, I think, got
2023
injured today, didn't he? Oh, yeah, sorry, go on. No, go.
2023 didn't play much because we played a lot of young players. After our season was kind of over midway through the year, we didn't give up. We were just playing a lot of young players like Ollie Dempsey, Shannon Neal, like Ollie Henry, like all of them. That's when they started stringing games.
Ben's just trying to say I cursed him after I brought him on my show. After Jed came on, he stopped playing footy. He's just trying to blame me.
Oh, stiff.
Nick Driscoll, he's still pretty early days. Got injured today too, so I think in the end, so we can't speak too much to that. But yeah, James Warp would get a gig. I think Joe Pye could be fine on most other clubs' lists as a young up and coming ruckman as well. Killian Burke has obviously one the club's investing pretty heavily in, and then the rest are all VFL listed players. But a bunch of those blokes, and we'll see what happens off the back of the mid-season draft on Tuesday. But a couple of these blokes could find themselves with a home pretty soon as well. Obviously, Marcus Herbert's probably the headline act there, but the likes of Dan Caperon and Jack Costello, they've been doing a great job. Ballantyne, he's been kicking goals every week.
Ballantyne's been good.
I think he'd kicked 16 across 6 games leading into today.
Yeah, so something like
he's in good shape. So and they just keep pulling him out. It's unreal.
Yeah, great.
So I mean, it's a good problem to have. Let alone you've got the likes of Harley Barker as a top round draft pick last year, who's just got a whole year off because of his ACL, or most of the year off anyway.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Toby Conway as well is very unlucky. Like he's a very good ruckman, and he just can't. He's not going to get a game because he's. Was it a back injury or something like that? Something along those lines.
It's everything. It's like it's the knee. It's his foot. Foot has been a constant one. I don't know if that's the current thing, but the foot has definitely been an issue on a few occasions.
Because I think in his first or second game, he had 40 hitouts against like Lloyd Meikle. I think it was on Easter Monday. Kicked the goal, had like 40 touches and like 15 disposals. No, not 40 hitouts and 15 disposals. I just remember looking at it and remember this player's going to be good. Got dropped next week for Reece Stanley. So I don't know.
I mean, he was young, he was inexperienced, it was fine. But yeah, actually, I've just looked at the medical report. He's still listed as foot and knee, and the estimated return is TBC. So they still don't have a
it probably won't be this year. I wouldn't suspect. After Mitch Edwards' year. Huh?
Scotty seems to believe in him still. Scotty made a comment in the
he loves him
tonight.
Yeah.
He spoke about him tonight, and he looks forward to the idea of those two playing in the same team, like him and Mitch in the future. So
yeah, right.
Which like Mitch is kind of the more athletic one of the two, so you could kind of see him rolling off each other. With the fact that you've got a fifth man on the bench these days, I mean, you look at what Frio's doing, for example, and not always to the greatest effect, but what they've got going with oh my god, I've just gone blank on all their names, but Mason Cox and Sean Darcy and like they're just they're stacked and they're just rolling them through and using their different strengths in different parts of the ground or in different stages of the game. So it can work.
Yeah.
Mitch Edwards just needs to improve his goal kicking. Like I was looking at pre-game today, he was missing everything directly in front.
Yeah, right.
He's done it a few times this year when he's had shots on goal. Like,
he's a ruckman.
I know, but if he can improve his set shot rate, I know he's like 208 centimeters or something like that.
He's big.
If he can improve his set shot just a little bit, like it'd just be handy for a goal, maybe here and there.
Yeah, one every 3 or 4 weeks. That's all you need.
Yeah.
If you could do it any more than that, that's a bonus. But actually, then bringing up the injury list, just to like some of the other names there, Jai Clark was still out with the concussion protocol, and he'd been in the 23 pretty consistently, and then obviously went back to the VFL and got the lights knocked out of him. Jay Polkinghorn still coming along really well through the VFL before this foot injury he's got. Like we're just and Kyton Matafai Forbes is the other one as a rookie. So like George got delisted and then picked back up as a rookie. So we've got stacks of options in another draft this year. So
Polky can't look good in the Pracky game against Hawthorn earlier this year.
yeah,
It was so stiff not to get a game against Gold Coast when Cameron didn't play. I think that's
I thought that was rough.
because I reckon if he played, he could have kicked 2 or 3 and looked good. Maybe even gotten a game or 2 more than that after. Like,
Yeah, he didn't have to be a long-term thing, but I think he deserved an opportunity. And it's a shame he didn't get it. Now he's injured, and who knows, maybe that kind of puts this year beyond him, especially now that we've really found our form. And he's probably going to be available by, round 14, 15? You start to go, oh, it's probably too late to start messing around with at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Was there anyone else, though, from tonight's game that you were all about?
Jack Henry was good in the fight. I know we kind of talked about it before. It was just a good. He didn't really do much.
Since you
Oh,
guys,
that
I saw
one.
you guys.
No.
Behind the scenes. I'm sure he's heard it at some point and probably hates my guts for it. But anyway.
No, on the forward, like the decoy bro was playing, like
it's
he looked very, very good. I think he just kicked the one goal, but he looked very good, very, very good in the air. Like just playing it. I think he was playing on Edwards, I believe. I don't know his name.
That sounds right. No, that sounds right. I mean, he made him accountable, right? And I think when we're playing against some of those top teams, I think about a Brisbane or I think about a Freo, some of those teams with stronger defenses. You're going to need that person to be a really viable option, so that so you don't have an extra person peeling off to cut off Shannon Neal or to body line Jeremy Cameron or whatever. So to have someone who's really, really dangerous up there, he may not. He probably pop up one week and kick 3 or 4 and flip us all off as he strolls back to his position. But but if he just pops up, kicks 1 goal, maybe doesn't even do that, but you can't afford to ignore him. That'll work a treat.
No, because it worked last week. He didn't kick a goal at all, but he allowed like players like Neil and Cameron to just have an easy run at it. Like Cameron didn't have to worry about playing on Andrews and having to worry if he can even kick a goal in general. But he kicked what two goals last week?
2 or 3, yeah.
Something like that,
yeah. We're in a real good spot.
There
was a little pause there for a sec.
I didn't expect to be this far after Port Adelaide. Like I
honestly thought
season over. Like maybe wild cuts.
I don't know why I doubted us, but we're flying at the moment. Like the lid is off, by the way, chat. The lid is well and truly off. Like grand final day, we'll be there. We'll be there.
It has been the topic all night. So actually, there was a question that came up about you before. Where did it go? Oh, it's probably too far back now. I think someone was talking about spotting you at the Brisbane game, but on the TV. Did you pop up on the TV?
No, I was up and about.
You weren't sitting down at all. I saw you.
No, I didn't sit the whole game. I was standing up at the Brisbane game. I was up and about.
I definitely, I think I saw you on TV somewhere along the way as well. So
yeah, no, that was good.
What have you guys been up to anyway? Outside of getting to the game today. Keep busy.
Just had dinner
good. Get on the beers.
Beers and cats. That's pretty much all we do.
That's all that matters.
Correct.
Where do you sit? So obviously, one of the things that's come up a few times tonight is Carlton. The fact that we're playing them next week. Of course, they've now just gone and had I haven't checked the final margin, but I guess about what did it work out to be? Oh, it was 34 points. Final margin was 34 points, and we keep getting beaten by them in the last few years. Is that going to happen again next week?
I'm so nervous. I think I know I don't want to be doubtful after how we played last 4 weeks. I think we lose next week.
I think we can't lose. We're absolutely flying. We're flying.
We just never can beat.
We'll outclass them. Surely we outclass them. Like surely
we should realistically on list.
I mean, we should have then too, though, right? We should have beaten them the last 2 times as well.
But we did like a couple of years ago when we lost them, we literally brought them back into form. We literally by losing that gap, we brought them back into form.
I think we win. Right.
Yeah, look, I think we do too. Like, I think you're right about kind of outclassing them. I think, and they've gotten weaker since last year, right? Like they've lost Charlie.
Yeah, they're worse. And we're better.
So
we're arguably better. Probably are better.
Now with this forward handball game, I think we are better.
We're the best team in the comp right now, without a doubt. Like
our running carry from the halfback, Lawson Humphrey, Zach Guthrie, Holmes. Top Shore gets involved. Jeremy Cameron gets involved. Like it's scary good.
Centre half back Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah, it's actually scarily good.
No, we'll be there grand final day without a doubt.
I think we've come in. Obviously, we're talking about we're going to win it with favourites, whatever. We've now come into equal third favourite for the flag now.
Oh, we'll
Who's the favourite? Is it
first
six
before the
Sydney the favourite?
We were the favourite before the
According
round.
to, and I'm just looking at the AFL app, which has got Sportsbet all over it. So the Lions are still favourite at $5.
The Lions are still favourite. Wow.
Freo at $5.75, and then us and Sydney are level at $6. Hawthorn at $8, and then everyone else is double digits.
No, we were like $14 a few weeks ago.
No, we were $4
fair.
at the start of the round. We were $4 at the start of the round by Sportsbet.
Yeah, we should. I reckon
Like,
we should be at $1.90.
Off the back of that North game, and you guys said it, like things were, or especially off the back of the Port game, but even off the back of the North one, we're like, oh yeah, okay, we big win, but we didn't really look very good. This forward handball game has changed everything.
Yeah, the last month's been unreal. Like, it's hard to fault us, really.
Yeah. And now it just feels like we can flick the switch between any of these modes of play, whether it's forward handball, whether it's the fast kicking game that we used, last year, or even if we absolutely needed to, the slower and steady stuff, we can do all of them. So it's good spot to be in.
Oh, mate, I promise you, we will be there grand final day. I'm that confident we'll be there. We're the best team in it. I'm that confident.
I like it.
It'll be Cats Sydney, I reckon. I reckon the Swans will be there, and we'll probably win by about 60.
Oh, at the game, by the way, they were promoting the grand final like everywhere. Like,
Yeah, they were
promoting
promoting
they were promoting the grand final everywhere. It's like the AFL's going to script Geelong v Sydney in the grand
They
final.
know we're going to be there. It was,
which, like any non-Geelong supporter needs to see us advertising grand final seats. Fuck, they'll all think that we're
on the screen
we're
as well.
paying
On the halftime and quarter time breaks, I was saying like, get your premiership seat or something.
yeah, they were like grand final seats. Like
seriously, round 11.
We'll be there.
We're not even halfway through the season.
We'll be there.
We're giving Andrew Dillon farms as well.
Oh, Andrew Dillon,
Andrew Dillon has a couple acres of land.
he's enough. He's enough for the week. Has he been enough for the week yet, Andrew Dillon?
I don't know.
He has to have been.
Surely. Hang on. Let me see. I'll have a quick look.
He has to have been up there.
Sometimes I. Oh yeah, hang on. Oh no, he's in the thumbnail for when we did the AFL appeals board.
He's my enough for the week every week.
It'll come up. He's got to say or do something soon. I don't think I've nuffed him recently.
He'll be there.
Yes, it's enough of the week.
But we'll see how long Nuff keeps going. I think I've stirred the pot a little bit with this coming week's one. So.
Oh.
Any other takeaways though from the game, or do we get into talking some votes?
Votes. Lawson has to be the 3 tonight, I think. Is that what everyone's saying? Everyone's saying that?
Most
people.
people, yeah.
I think he's the 3.
It'd be hard for Lawson and Home because they were both everywhere all game. But Baz is easy like a one.
Baz was so quiet.
But Baz was quiet until the tag got released.
He turned it on in the third. Was he actually? Was he hard tag?
Apparently he did get like tagged. I didn't realize it because he looked free.
He had James Jordan.
At the game, it didn't look like
at the game. He wasn't getting tagged like at all. It just looked like he was roaming free by himself.
It didn't look
as... and just couldn't find it.
Yeah,
I just couldn't find the ball.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he might have not gotten tagged.
It didn't look like that hard of a tag at the game, so we were like, oh,
maybe he's just like not found the ball at all.
And then third quarter, he just what do you have 18 or something in the third quarter?
Yeah, 18
he had six touches in the first 3 minutes of that quarter.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. He turned it on.
Yes, he probably sneaks in for a 1. I mean, I think Baz argues for the likes of Jeremy Cameron and those sorts of blokes also. So
Baz 1, Holmes 2, and Lawson 3.
If Jeremy Cameron can keep up this, by the way, like look out for the Brownlow. Like Brownlow,
1,000 goal. He's also on 1,000 goal watch. I still think he's on 1,000 goal watch.
Yeah, no, I've made that call as well. Like he'll have to play for another 3 years probably after this year. If he keeps kicking about 60 a year,
he can do that. And who's to say he can't? He could have an 85 or something.
He'll more than 60 as well. We're not even halfway through the season.
He could still have an 80.
He's already in like 30 goals. He'll probably kick 70 this year.
Yeah,
he's on 30 now, so he's only 4 off the pace, and the Suns have played, so he's only 4 off the pace now. So we're starting to get back into back-to-back Jez territory now.
Yeah,
and there definitely will be a game where he kicks 7 or 8 again. Like he's not going to not do that.
Well, we played Richmond in the last round.
We played Richmond and North the last 2 weeks. He can
and Essendon.
We can still pull up. He can kick like 6 against one of those teams.
Easy.
Easily.
And that is the thing. Like we've played, mostly tougher teams up to this point. Like we've mostly dealt with the top half of the ladder. Now we're going to we're going to deal with a few more of those, and we've got our repeat matches against Freo and the like coming up. But we are going to get to fill our boots against some pretty low teams coming up. We haven't dealt with Essendon yet. We haven't dealt with Richmond yet.
Those are the danger games. Those are the danger games.
It could be one of those games where like Scott just wants to feed Jeremy Cameron and like that's, I don't know, like.
Or
Scott's-
just even like the
so,
Dogs game. Like I don't think there was a deliberate plan for it, but once he got
No,
half a dozen, the boys have looked around and gone,
gone.
hang on a moment, 10's a goer here, and they just start feeding him.
Yeah, that
I
was-
didn't watch much of that, like the second half, but who was it? I watched the last like quarter and a bit like the last second half of the quarter. Was it someone was taking a shot at goal with 2 minutes left?
Jack Martin.
Jack Martin and Jeremy
Yeah.
Cameron just had 7 different leads. He did a full like circle 7 times,
He was,
and he just decided to take. Apparently, Martin didn't know he was on 9 goals. He still was on like 6 goals or something.
Yeah, I
He
did
had
hear
no,
that.
he
too,
had
yeah.
no clue. He had no clue,
Sure.
which I don't believe. I don't know if I
No,
believe
he
that.
just saw the goals and like, that's my turn.
Yeah.
But no,
No.
I mean, it could be one of those ones where, like he starts beating up on a low team and they just go, all right, let's just feed the bloke. Same
reckon.
with, and I hope they do the same. Like Shannon Neal's got to get, probably get one of those opportunities. I think today is the first goalless game he's had in, actually, I think all season, but certainly in a while.
He
Yeah.
realistically shouldn't have had a goalless game. Like he had 2 gettable opportunities. Like,
Yeah, he just didn't take him. But I feel like he's this close to having one of those games where all of a sudden they're all just coming his way and he's clunking everything and we're starting to talk about a 6-goal game.
He's a star. He's a star, Shannon Neal.
this is exactly how Tom Hawkins started his career, though. By the way, like exactly how he started. There was a leading target. Like,
Yeah.
he plays exactly like how Tom Hawkins would play.
Yeah,
as well.
he's ready to pop.
Yeah,
Yeah. For sure.
And what's he on? He's on 22 for the year, so
that's still really good.
he's
Yeah.
done real well.
He started the year off slow as well. He had a very slow start. I think he won against Gold Coast or something. And
Actually,
then,
the thing, actually, just talking about like the goal thing, and the prospect of maybe Jezza going back to back. He's kicked 30 goals, 20. So there's let alone anything out on the full. That's
Yeah.
50 scoring shots. And I'm just looking through the list of other players. There's only one bloke that I can see who's had more shots on goal, and that's Mitch Georgiades, who's kicked 26 goals, 25. So he's had 51 scoring shots.
Yeah, right. So he's
So-
getting the awards. Yeah.
And Ben King is where he is because he kicked 34 goals, 8. Like he's just been super accurate.
Yeah, yeah.
today's the game. Like we were watching the Gold Coast game beforehand. Today's the game. He had one look in the first quarter, and that was it for the game. I think.
Yeah,
Against,
Charlie Combin gave him a bath.
Yeah, no, it was Griffin Logue. It wasn't
Was it
Combin.
Griffin Logue?
It was
Oh.
Griffin Logue. I think in the end.
Which says a lot because Logue's not much.
Yeah, it's not much. He sucks. Common might have been on him a bit, so like, but he
Actually,
must have held back.
Jake Waterman's another one right up there. He's had 51 scoring shots as well. He's just kicked 22 goals, 29.
Yeah, he's missed a lot.
He's having shots from outside 50. Like,
He's missing a lot, though.
he's-
True.
After
True,
the
yeah, he's
big
probably,
bomb- after the big bomb against Port Adelaide, like he's just having shots from 65 out. So he's going to do the same thing again.
Why
He
not?
will.
Yeah,
No one else is going to kick a goal there, so why not? Nate
Nah,
Caddy
true.
with 44 shots, 44 shots for the year. It's not bad for a young bloke.
yeah.
Nah, Jez will win it this year.
But Jez is leading the way, so I think in terms of shots, so of that top half a dozen, so I think he'll come away with it.
Yeah, for sure.
The way
Hopefully.
things are going, especially with those lower teams to come.
Yeah, a lot of easy games to look forward to.
Yeah, Phillies boots.
He always plays well against Freo as well. Like Freo away, he might have a good game.
Yeah.
He always seems to run away with 3 or 4 against them.
And I guess to link into that one, Horatio jumped back in the chat before he said Geelong and Freo for the grand final. Could you see it happening?
No, I couldn't.
I couldn't see Freo going
I don't
all the
think
way.
Freo get to the.
I don't think Freo go all the way.
No way.
I think their team's still. I think their team's still a year too young to make it.
They could straight sets exit. They could honestly straight sets.
I think they're a year too young.
No, not even that. It's too hard. It's too impossible to see Fremantle like grand final.
Yeah, we're not used to it.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem right. So it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm biased. It just doesn't seem right.
I mean, look, their list is great, but yeah, you're right. I feel like they still need a little bit more development potentially. And to your straight sets idea, like I could very easily see them go straight sets if they blow that first week.
Yeah, I actually
Suddenly
get.
they've got to travel.
that goes out in straight sets.
I
as well.
think they're a
Actually,
straight sets.
sorry, they wouldn't have to travel. Sorry, no, if
They wouldn't
if
travel,
lost the
but-
first week, surely
but
they
still.
win 1 out of 2 at home.
Wow.
But if they lose the qualifying final, like they're not going to play in Perth again. They're going to have to play in Vic most likely. They could be like a Vic crowd be like 5,000 Freo fans. Like, it'd be exactly like the semi-final in 2022 when they had to play Collingwood at the MCG in front of 95,000. Like they had.
I don't rate it. I actually don't rate Freo that much. I don't know.
Like that shit themselves.
We're 10 times better than Freo.
Who have they played so far? So obviously they lost to us in round one. I'm gonna bring up their.
They haven't played a team that's that great yet. Like incredibly, like I don't think they've. Like we beat them.
We'll pump them.
They played.
We'll smash them.
Melbourne Bulldogs.
So here we go. So round one was us, and we obviously they choked and we smacked them in the second half. They beat Melbourne by 48 in round two, but Melbourne hadn't really popped like they are now.
They weren't good yet.
Richmond they smacked by 60, but over there, Adelaide wasn't firing kind of back in round four, but they beat them by 2 points. The Pies they beat by 6 points in that.
No good.
Horribly low scoring. 30
that's when the Pies weren't that great either.
That was gather round.
Yeah. Where are we? They beat West Coast by 56. They only snuck over the line against Carlton by 14 when Carlton was arguably their worst. They barely beat the Dogs, and that would
They're not good.
That'd be after all the Dogs' injuries too, like all the injuries they got against us. So.
They came back though. To be fair, like credit for that.
Beat Hawthorn recently. Got a hold of Essendon, but that's not much. They didn't destroy. They didn't crucify St Kilda last night either. But they've got a test this week. They play against Brisbane this week over at the Gabba. So
it is.
That might be the test there for them.
Okay.
We probably should head off.
That's right. No, I'll leave you guys do it. That's fine. No worries.
Oh, we'll be back next week because I'll be with him again. So Carlton
Sydney GWS post. Yeah. Oh yeah. Next week. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure. And GWS. We have to do a post game after the Giants away game.
We'll be in Sydney.
The whole cheer squad's travelling up to that.
As long as we don't need to bring back old mate, who I like to bring this guy out fairly regularly, Darren. You'll see how.
Who's old mate?
Well, there's a big, big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mind.
It's like that. That is like an old meme at this point. But the GWS social team stuck the theme song over the top of it, and I don't mind wheeling it out from time to time because it's pretty funny. As long as we don't have to talk about that after GWS, we'll be fine. So
we'll beat the Giants this year. But yeah, Giants post game, be there, everyone in the chat. And super chats, guys. Let's get some super chats. All right. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
Next team. See you later.
Appreciate it. Cheers. Super chats, everyone, super chat.
All right. I didn't do this on purpose. Ben set the layout out now for this, but if there is anyone, Paul, enough of the week right there. Oh, for dropping. I've forgotten his name now, but the big sound clip. Yeah. Look, if anyone wants to jump in, it is still. What are we now? It's 11:15. So if you want to jump on board and have a bit of a chat, feel free. I'll leave it open for a few more minutes. Otherwise, we might actually find ourselves finishing sub 3 hour show here, and I might get to sleep at a decent time on a footy night. Lockie's prompting more super chats. But most importantly, to Horacio's point, don't forget to like. It helps spread the word. I feel like tonight I've seen a few new names over the course of the show, so it's been awesome to get to meet some of you, to get to chat to some of you, and look forward to all of you sticking. Hopefully, you're still there watching now, and we'll come and join us again next week. The likes help. The likes help put the show out in front of many more people. So don't hesitate to use that like function and subscribe. And if you do want to join the show, the QR code is right there. Just scan it, and you're in. The link I'll also drop in the chat for any last minute folks who want to jump in. But otherwise, oh, hang on, that's not working properly. Where are we? There we go. Try that again. Oh no, it just took a while. Now it's going to pop twice. Feel free to use that link and jump in, or the QR code, whatever suits you best. Would love to chat to any of you that want to share some thoughts over the game. I'm seeing Shadoo's just dropped in the Hoops Discord. I might actually quickly project that one. Some comments from Dean Cox. Window, I want game day. There we go. We'll screen share. Boom. There we are. Dean Cox talking about how, the decision to drop the James Jordan tag on Bailey Smith did not work. What I don't understand is, who did he go to? Who did he go to in that third quarter? Did he go to anyone? And it seems to be a common thing, from when I was chatting to the guys just before. No one seems to be 100% sure who he actually went to. So we'll see. Ben says, "Hey Paul, the better Paul." That's a bit rough on old Paul, civil student. He's right there. Don't insult him like that. Python says he went to the bench. Maybe that's fair. Warming some pine for the third quarter. What else is popping off in the Discord at the moment? Let's see if there's anything there that we can. Oh, here we go. Actually, here's another one. Let me screen share once again. So some head-to-head stats from today. So hit-outs in the head-to-head between Grundy and Mitch Edwards. Mitch Edwards won at 16-13 with equal 4 hit-outs to advantage from both. So that reflects well for a bloke who's super early in his career. That's awesome. We can see some more graphics here. I think probably posted by the club this time between Max and Baz. And there's plenty more in the Discord. So please don't hesitate to go and check all of the conversation out. Join it. Jake's with the real highlight there. Geelong, greatest team of all. Everyone else can fuck off. Ben, you said this, but you haven't got the video on the back end. You haven't loaded it up. Just like you didn't put the stupid QR code in there before. You don't have the video sitting in the gallery here for me to wheel out. Oh, it was a video, wasn't it? Hang on, there's nothing else. No, nothing in more. Nah. You haven't got it there, Ben. Sort your shit out. I can't run a good show if you're failing me, and you're forever failing me. Oh, so now it's your fault, huh? So it's my fault that you can't sort out the video. Fucking dud. Let's full screen that one. Oh, Shadu says, look at the video in the Footy News channel. Okay, I'll bring that one up. Let me go back to Discord. In the Footy News channel. Oh, no. Oh, is it? Do I need to? Oh, then I need to go to Reddit. Hang on. Let me drag this one across. We'll drop it right here. Bear with me. We'll change our screen sharing here. We're bringing up a clip from Reddit here, which looks like, oh, it's Essendon fans. What have they done? Yeah, it's pretty shit. It's pretty shit. And mainly through the lens of like, like we were talking with Horatio before. We were talking about, these cellar dwell teams and how long they've spent there. Like how do you ever expect them to improve when they're being slagged off at every single possible opportunity? And also cut them a bit of slack. Like they oh no, I'm not preaching to the right people here, but like a bunch of their best players all got cut down during the game. They probably would have won. Things just didn't work out. But fuck, it sucks to be if you're an Essendon supporter. All right, well, it doesn't seem like anyone is going to jump in at this particular point. So if anyone does, I'll leave this hanging for another minute or so as I outro everything, and I'll happily just grab you into the conversation if need be. But otherwise, thank you everyone for having tuned into Postgame Live tonight. The Cats got the job done. I won't go as far as to say comfortably, but it was a healthy margin in the end. 27 points, the final margin there. The Cats 15-17, 107, beating the Swans 12-8, 80. So that is 32 shots to 20. We could have beaten them by a lot more, just didn't take advantage of all those opportunities. It's been a bit of a pattern of late. Bomber supporters of rank is a good way to sign this show off. Make sure, of course, there's lots of awesome content to come. We have my reaction video, which will go live tomorrow. So make sure to tune in for my own thoughts. For the most part, tonight has been me listening and waxing with some others. But I'll share my breakdown of the 27-point win tomorrow. That'll be available on the YouTube channel nice and early. As we discussed before, Jake is preparing a VFL draft candidates video. So looking at our VFL players and who might potentially get picked up in the mid-season draft, which is this Tuesday. That video is due to go up sometime early in the week. And then, of course, on Tuesday, what will undoubtedly be a contentious enough of the week. If you're a YouTube member, that video, Ben, I assume you're still watching in the background. Ben, that video is live for our YouTube members. If it's not, it will be really soon. Everyone kind of knows what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the jumper punch incident from earlier in the week. And I know there's lots of big opinions on that one. I think the lens I went down with the approach I took to this one is I tried to be really constructive around it. Obviously, what occurred is fairly well documented at this point. We all know what happened. But I tried to bring a constructive approach to it. Nuff who needed to be nuffed, but then look forward. Okay, how can this be done better? How can this be changed? How can we take a negative and make some positive out of it? So hopefully those who watch it, especially those who aren't necessarily a part of this community, take what I'm trying to emphasize away from that conversation. But we'll see. That remains to be seen. Spartacus says, seen it mentioned on SEN, was like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm like, a lot of clips from what has gone on will be played during this Enough of the Week. And Shadu, I will, if Ben hasn't done it by the time I get out and by the time I record the reaction video, I will then just make it live for members ahead of the public launch in a few days. And Magnus has popped in. How the hell did North win? I don't know. 43-point win becomes a 43-point margin becomes a 6-point win. Pretty incredible. It's kind of miracle on grass territory sort of stuff, which I know is very triggering for all of us, but it really does evoke that sort of result because it happened very quickly. Oh, Ben just said it's live for members now. So if you are a YouTube member of the Hoops Crew, then you can go and check out Nuff of the Week titled Nuff, Rocco's Fighting Words. That is now available for our YouTube members and will go public on May 26th. That will be Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Patreon is a whole other beast. Ben, reply in there. Ben, I don't think there's a way we'll make it available to Patreon members as well. Yeah, okay. Ben's across it. Cool. I don't know if there's a way that we can get like the members access also working for Patreon, but Ben's working on it, so we'll leave him to it. Anyway, like I said, that's the line of content between now and Tuesday. We'll then, of course, have just the tips. Show us your tips. Ben's live tipping show, that will be on Wednesday. The Paul James show again on Thursday, and we'll go from there. Postgame Live, of course, to follow after our win, hopefully, touch wood, against Carlton. And all the other reaction preview content will go up as well. Thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Hoops Crew on YouTube. Share it with your friends and family. Get the word out there about the Hoops Crew and all the awesome content from myself, Ben, and the chaps. Through all that, I didn't even shout out the Chaps Chat Cats and their weekly show. So please make sure to tune into that also. You'll find us on Patreon. We've just been discussing a little bit. Patreon.com/thehoopscrew, where you can subscribe and get early access, extended and exclusive content delivered directly to your email inbox. And all it will cost you is a single cup of coffee per month to get access to all the stuff we're producing. And thank you to all of our Patreon members. You can see those names scrolling across the bottom right now. Ben with the behind the scenes work. It's awesome. And I don't like pumping him up very often. You'll find me on socials. That is Paul James Games on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram. The Hoops Crew you'll find at the Hoops Crew. Until next time, Cats by 27 points. Thank you all for watching. Remain Geelong strong. And I don't like AI, but man, Ben put together an absolute banger with this. Check it out, and we'll see you later.
And he's ready to go. Got a mic in his hand. It's time for the show. Dropping pussy down facts, mitts, forwards and backs. Representing G-Town while talking the smack. Clashing facts like Patty, where the hell you at? Hoops Crew are exploding. Don't ever look back. Then we got Paul, yeah, he knows his stuff. He's a man, he's a myth, taking on the nuts. The man don't miss, he loves to react. His words cut deep, he's a counterattack. Balls on fire, brings a mic to life. Don't fuck with B-Dog if you value your life. Oh, they fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops Crew's here and they'll never back down. Jake, Tommy, Sambo, always rocking the game. Benny and Paul, man, remember the names. Jake's bringing the noise with Johnny and Sambo, the chaps, chat boys, they're electric and they're ready to roll. The boys are on fire and they're taking control. Recaps and previews, yeah, they cover it all. Part of the Hoops Crew with Benny and Paul. They fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops Crew, baby, they'll never back down. Jake, Johnny, Sambo, always rocking the game. Benny and Paul, chasing glory and fame. Brad with the sleeves, Max Holmes and Jack Bowes. Tommy fucking Atkins, he'll break your damn nose. Stewie in the middle, and Reese in the ruck. They see Big Jezza and they know they're fucked. They're the T-Town boys, go hard or go home. They're fucking insane, taking over the throne. Oh, they fuck shit up, yeah, they run T-Town. The Hoops Crew, baby, they'll never back down. Jake, Johnny, Sambo, get your head in the game. Benny and Paul, they're fucking insane.